What do you think? I wrote the recap.
Oh yeah.
You know what'd be cool? For like a war, or I guess anyone. Would it be like an enchanted shovel? You just walk into town, it's like, that's not a weapon, it's a shovel. You just beat the shit out of someone.
And then you get
Hello,
arrested.
everyone. Welcome to the stream.
Oh.
I am Raw Zim, and this is Echoes of Eberron Dungeons and Dragons.
Hello, everybody.
Howdy.
Last time, after much travel, and this recap is brought to us by Yark, our resident artificer. After much travel, we arrived at Train Town to wait for train. Yark tried to sell potions with not much success. Found some tea that might be able to... Anyway, bored of waiting, we walked to look for the lost crate, eventually finding it full of precious dragon shards. But we were ambushed and attacked by strong lizards with annoying small monkeys on their backs. We beat them and we were able to keep our shards. And now, we continue with the party currently on the road at the moment. Actually, you guys are currently in the middle of a field at night. The road is about a half an hour walk away. You can see the glowing anchor stones of the lightning rail, as well as the empty silhouette of a road stretching across the windswept plains. So, what are y'all doing?
I think we should divide the dragon shards if we haven't already.
Okay.
So remember, there was a bunch of pieces. There was a lot of dust.
Question before that though, I was able to get all of them in my bag just for ease of carry.
I would say you would not be able to get all of them into your bag at the time that the combat calmed down enough.
Yeah, so probably just finish getting it into your bag.
Okay, how much
Because
do we
if
get
I
total?
remember correctly, an amount of it was dust. Or powder.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of it was dust.
I got things for powder shards, tiny shards, large shards.
Oh, okay, because Anun was going to take the dust because he has stuff to carry them in.
Can we divvy it up like in the morning? Or not in the morning, but like when we're not in the middle of a field?
That's probably
Yeah.
a good idea.
So, how much did we get total?
That much right there.
That's a lot of.
I hope you appreciate the title.
It is true. That's a lot of.
Loot.
Oh, 50 is total.
Dova,
Okay.
Dova. These are dragon shards. That should be with a PH.
What?
Fat loot.
I mean, we can.
I'll make it unpublic.
Fine.
I mean, we got 50 pounds of Eberron shards. I mean, the total is 100 pounds, so we can divide that. Everybody gets 20 pounds.
No, the total is 50.
Total is 50.
Well,
25
of
25
everything.
Pounds. No, yeah. 25 pounds, 15 small crystals, the 5 medium crystals, 1 single. That's total.
Yeah.
So
But if you
everyone
add up
gets
all
10
the-
pounds.
So I know exactly, but for the audience, can you kind of explain what dragon shards are?
Dragon shards are
They're like magic
almost
coal.
like a correct. They're a condensed magical substrate. Eberron dragon shards in particular are the most common. And part of the creation myth of the world is that the earth is the body of one of the 3 great dragons. That's paraphrasing quite a bit, but one is the earth, one is the fire below, and then one is the heavens. Eberron dragon shards are from the earth, or Eberron, and they're a sort of a swirling, glowing purple. And they have plenty of uses in fueling artifice, aiding in casting some various spells, in addition to the almost innumerable uses for it in research and the creation of magical artifacts.
So what would you say is the most useful? Probably the bigger the better.
Correct. The
Well,
bigger the dragon shard, the more valuable it is, and the more useful it is for very powerful items. However, for small handheld items, you do want these tiny little shards. You won't really need much more.
And the dust probably would work for spells, right?
Correct. It's a catalyst for alchemy, for spell scribing, any sorts of all sorts of magical things. We'll probably need dragon shards at some point.
All right. Well, now I definitely want to find someone that could teach me a dragon shard spell.
Mhm.
That'd be cool.
I can
Sounds-
teach you alchemy.
That sounds. I already know alchemy.
Teach you better alchemy.
I don't think so.
So, this is. I guess we can discuss this as we walk back. I definitely want the large crystal. As the only one actually versed in artificery, I think that might benefit me the best.
Dusty will start searching his mouth as he starts to realize he never took the dragon shard out of his mouth when those halflings came to attack them, but it's not there anymore.
You lost one?
No,
I
I
think I
grabbed it.
ate
I
it.
grabbed it from him.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, we'll
I secretly
we'll see
grabbed it
if
from
there's
him when
any
he wasn't
effects from
looking.
that.
Yeah, he was just like chewing on it and said, "Tastes like magic."
Mhm.
And then Cobalt said, "Yeah, isn't it great?" And then we were attacked by those halflings and he never took it out of
I
his
don't.
mouth.
Yeah. I don't.
Cartoonish gasp gulp.
I don't think that you can take it from him without him looking when it's in his mouth.
Yeah, no.
Mhm.
As long as our stash doesn't decrease in any way.
We'll say that was one of the medium crystals.
Oh
A
no.
medium one? But he's so small.
All right. Well, that's his now. He can have it back when he gets it back.
Medium in regards to the actual crystals in here and the dragon shards.
Yeah.
So
like-
I was just thinking, like, I wonder if that'll get written off as a comedy.
Word of our
The-
community's acclaim spreads.
The crystals, excluding the powder, are very, very, very dense. In fact, the large 5-pound crystal is about the same size as that spell shard that you have, Yark. Although in its sort of raw, unrefined state, it is very, very heavy.
What?
I have a ring that's very heavy and it's very pleasant.
Sim, can you turn that down a little, please?
It's Viridian Forest.
What? Must be some rock version.
So if we're each getting 10 pounds, the big crystal will be 5 of mine. And I guess...
Out of here. Sorry, I'm talking
How
to
much
Ginger.
How much would one medium crystal be? Weigh?
1 pound.
And I'm guessing the big crystal weighs 5?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Dusty
I'll
is
take...
not particularly interested in these magic crystals. He's more
One-
concerned about the one he ate. He's
1 single, and then 2 medium. How much is each small?
It's more of a kind of a handful, because the small crystals are a little bit too small to be counted individually. They're
Okay,
more
makes sense.
large pebbles.
In that case, I'll take the big crystal, 2 mediums, and 3 pounds worth of powder.
Yeah, I'll take a large. Can I supersize that?
Huh.
And some medium powder, light ice.
Yeah.
Sorry, it just sounded like an order when you were saying that.
Are we talking about this in character or out of character?
In character. I
Zerth,
guess I didn't sound very koboldy when I said it, though.
no.
Zerth would go as he's carrying the body on his back. He goes, I will take whatever's you deem fair. So, however you want to divvy up that.
So what was it? 10 pounds each?
Yeah.
I will take.
Do you wanna? Hey Dova, do you wanna subtract the stuff that's already taken?
I'm
From
keeping track of it on the notes.
Okay.
And how much of the small crystals and the powder?
I didn't take any small, but I took 3 pounds of the powder.
I'll take one of those medium crystals, and then the rest powder.
All right.
Takes the crystal and then he puts the powder in vial.
Yark tips the bag over and just pours the powder out into the vial for him.
Dusty doesn't particularly care.
Well, you already have one of the medium crystals.
Ah, that's right.
So that's 1 pound.
Hopefully
And
that's fine.
That's all. No, that leaves 1 medium left.
How heavy are the medium?
1 pound.
1 pound each.
I'll take a medium.
So it's all the mediums.
Dusty would like 9 pounds of small crystals, because he's pretty sure if he took the powder, he'd lose it. Or sneeze on it, maybe.
All right. And did you take anything other than the 1 medium crystal, Zerth?
Let's see.
You have 9 pounds left.
9 pounds left. So I took the last medium crystal, and I'll take.
There are 4
Whatever.
pounds of small, and then a bunch of powder.
I'll do 4 pounds of small.
And a bunch of powder.
And just a bunch of powder.
So that leaves 10 pounds of powder for tinsel. Sinnel.
Sinnel? Yeah.
Don't feel like powder.
A slip of the tongue.
It's like sand.
So we all get 10 pounds total, and then we're just divvying up the weight of what crystal size all that is, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making
That
sure.
Sinnel's got nowhere to store it, so whatever.
Just put in. I can give you a bag.
Or a
I
bottle.
give him a separate backpack. The one
You
that
do have at least 1 bottle of liquor on you. It is full though.
Okay.
Alternatively, I can just give you the backpack that I don't use.
That'll work.
And
Would you
can just-
actually want any though, Sinnoh?
It's valuable. Like anyone who's not going to be using it would probably sell it and benefit from it.
That's his only use for it, so...
Well, for those who aren't alchemists or are artifice, then that's pretty much any of them is used for it.
12, 17. There are
Actually,
8 pounds of powder left, and 2 pounds of small crystals.
actually, for noon he'll just take all powder, not the medium crystal.
Alright.
Your damn seaweed! Come on.
What?
I'm trying to eat sushi. Sorry.
I'm jealous. I want sushi.
I mean,
Sushi's
this
so
is
good.
like grocery store sushi, which isn't bad, but it's not
Still,
great.
yeah.
I just really
Honest-
wanted it.
Honestly, in my opinion, it's really the spicy mustard, spicy mayonnaise that tends to make or break a good sushi.
Then I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
All about that salmon and tuna.
Hey, Dova, what's the rarity of dragon shards?
Uncommon. Just for writing descriptions down, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna be more organized this game.
It has differing prices depending on where you go with it.
Yeah, I didn't put a cost on it.
Yeah, yeah.
I just have like 1 pound of medium crystal, 4 pounds of small crystal, 5 pounds powder, so I know
Yeah, yeah.
what I have.
All right. I'll go ahead and divvy
1
up the rest
pound
for you, Sinel.
eaten.
So that is 18.
And you got my change, right, Dova?
So 7. Yeah.
All right.
All right. So Sinel, what is left over is 7 pounds of the powder, 2 pounds of the small crystals, and a single 1 pound medium crystal.
All right.
Very well. We shall continue onwards. So, are you going to stay in this field, or?
Well,
What time of the day is it?
I figured we were doing this while we were walking.
Okay, yeah, you could have probably been doing this while you're on the road walking. So
Oh, well, actually, Dusty kind of wanted to, like, carve up the raptors.
yeah,
I
you
mean,
could probably do
You'd
that
probably-
before you head out. Go ahead and give me
Yeah.
a survival check. You wouldn't really have
Oh.
much time before everyone started packing up and leaving, though.
okay. He's never carved up a raptor before.
No. Wow.
Ah,
Well, on the inside, they're not really that dissimilar to mammals. Sure, their blood works a bit differently, and some of the organs are kind of strange shaped, but as far as musculature and kind of skeleton goes, it works well, very well.
yeah! I have dismantled a raptor.
Mm.
Thank God for these tools. Thank God. Now, what do I do with all this meat?
I don't know.
You don't-
You'd probably manage to salvage. They're not too big, so about
Oh.
15 pounds of good meat.
If he's getting meat, can I help him?
Sure.
Would this be a check or no? He already rolled survival.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
never mind that.
He
He,
cannot
he probably doesn't
roll
need
any
help.
higher, but we'll say that you're helping him along.
I am
Um,
proficient at butchering corpses.
I'm proficient at
So go
meat
ahead and add
harvesting.
15 pounds of toe clawed raptor meat.
Okay.
You want to put that in my bag of holding, small boy,
Yes.
small friend?
Actually, I've got a lot of carry weight, but this is also meat that probably shouldn't be exposed to air.
I mean, it's not going to stay fresh in my bag, but at least we don't have to carry it.
Okay, put it in your bag. Raptor meat.
How many pounds? 15?
15
Correct.
pounds. I was
Clawfoot
thinking
raptor, that's different.
about. I was thinking about the halflings, but raptors have more meat.
Yeah, the weird
Jesus.
monkeys are small.
They also shot at us. But check out these cool scimitars. I'm gonna swing these and have fun.
Are you taking one of the scimitars?
Oh, yeah, he took the scimitar from the one that he checked last session, and
Oh,
the
okay.
one that Inun checked but only took the coins from. There
Gotcha.
was also a dagger and some crossbows. Light crossbows. He didn't take the bolts though.
Hmm.
You didn't put a number to the bolts.
Oh, how
Alright.
many? I'll take a look at it. So, it is now firmly dark now. And at this point, you think you should probably hurry if you're gonna get that train. Some of the more astute among you would realize that if it takes you the same amount of time to get back as it did to get out here, then it's gonna be close.
Let's hustle, folks.
And something kind of uncomfortable is the fact that that's not taking into account any time to rest. So
We sleep
mean,
on the train.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's got some nice sleeper cabs.
All right. Do the airport hustle. Get
What's
to
that?
It's you're carrying all your stuff and you're running really fast because you have to catch your flight at the opposite side of the terminal.
And somehow you waited to the very last second to actually get there.
Why'd you do that?
So you can do the airport hustle.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're walking, I guess.
All
Or
right.
running.
So
Hustle in.
you
hustle.
are hustling your ass to the train station again. Could someone please give me 3 d20s?
I did 4 by accident.
Oh, that's a lot. Okay.
2017.
That's for all my. All right, I'm gonna have no good rolls the rest of the
Exactly.
session. You guys
That's
have
where all
fun.
that's where all your 20s went.
Well, I think Ganoon, since he's the one that did in fact roll the 3s that Doba asked for.
Yeah.
That's
He's a
true, he
noons,
did
I
roll
rolled
the
4.
3.
Little did we know, hire is back.
So,
We find 2 treasure chests along the way.
no.
2 other chests full of dragon shards.
Uh, can everyone without dark vision give me a perception check with disadvantage? People with dark vision and who
Does
can
blind
see.
sight count?
No, not for this.
Ah.
People with dark vision do what?
Just roll without disadvantage.
I don't know why I don't have dark vision. Just perception.
Probably because almost every other race has dark vision.
Yeah, there's a lot of friggin' races with dark vision.
But I'm a fox.
Oh, that's a long loading time. Big map.
Ooh.
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 Both end of the spectrum on that one.
Is it based on hearing or smell?
Oh my god. He dropped a 20.
This would be purely sight.
Sino literally rolled a 20 and a 1.
Yeah. Wait, you said roll normally, right?
If you have dark vision, and blind sight would not count.
Right. My bad.
So, Zareth, you're the only one to see this. Off in the distance, in the kind of wavering, bristling, long, wild grasses off in the distance. You think you see a couple of glowing eyes kind of peek upwards, then duck right back behind the bushes and various banks of grass. Nothing, fortunately or unfortunately, comes of it. As in the distance, you eventually see, as the sun starts to rise, the small, squat building of the train station slowly come into view just over a hilltop. All of you do catch a whiff of something rancid in the air before it very quickly dissipates, though. And almost at the same exact moment, you kind of look at each other, and kind of infer that all of you kind of smelled that same thing at the exact moment.
I did not toot. I want to make that clear.
The first one to deny it.
Did it?
Yes, but I'm also
Apply.
not at the front.
doesn't
And we are
work.
downwind.
You got wings. You could push it
I
forward.
was not flying.
So do we make it back in time?
Yes, you do.
I would have kept the eyes to myself for now.
So how long until the train gets here?
As you are kind of sprinting into the station and all, not really sprinting, but you're really booking it, trying to make it there in time. And as you kind of stomp up onto the wooden planks of the platform, you see in the distance the large, imposing, almost a column of what looks like smoke, off in the distance that the direction that the anchor stones stretch into.
Hey Dova.
Yeah.
At this moment, the device that was on my wrist explodes, and then Yark says, "Hey guys, the train's almost here."
What was that?
It's his.
It's his alarm.
Is anyone gonna ask about it?
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
my
What
alarm.
is that?
It's my alarm clock.
What?
I set a time. I want it to alert me, and it does.
By exploding.
It has some bugs to work out.
Zer's
How
gonna
many-
chuckle at that.
How many
We're
bugs have you
I'm
through that?
sorry, but unfortunately, we just can't allow you to live.
Oh man, I liked him.
I know where to hide a body.
I just know that the future demands that this never become a thing.
So, Cobalt Fillet then?
Well, unless I get the bugs worked out, then it probably will not catch on. Maybe.
Or it catches on fire.
And then the device on my wrist catches on fire. Yark pretends not to notice and just detaches it from his wrist.
Zerth looks mighty concerned at that, but doesn't say anything. Actually, no,
Right.
he's gonna walk up behind him and just cast Lester Restoration to heal this child's mind.
By the way, you guys are currently on 1 point of exhaustion,
Okay, I
That's
figured.
fine.
as
That's
you guys
like
have been continuously traveling through the night to catch the train.
that's like
Do
disadvantage
I
on.
get the exhaustion? I'll just sleep during the day. As
Uh,
usual.
I'd say you're getting there at this point.
Oh, okay.
You're not quite exhausted.
That's disadvantage on skill checks, isn't it?
Yeah.
What about saving throws? Is that exhaustion too?
I don't believe so yet. I believe that's 2 levels.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna buy my ticket.
All right. As you're heading up to the counter, the man in the booth, his newspaper kind of put aside, kind of yawns and looks at you. He says, "Well, good morning.
Morning. Do you have any tickets, please?
How many tickets?
Another loyal devil.
Just one.
5.
Just one.
What?
All right.
I don't have that much. I don't have that much money.
Well, where are you headed to?
What was it? Vatharond?
Vatharond or Sterilasker?
It was Sterilasker.
Okay, Sterilasker. That one.
Sterilasker? All right. Well, he looks at rather large timetable plastered on the inside wall.
I just imagine it comically large. Like, how does
It
it even
seems to
fit?
take up like the entire side wall.
He's just
It's not a,
looks
it's
over
not
to
a
it.
gigantic building either. So
Next
Still.
train leaving right now.
he kind of points off and he says, "Well, for this one,
He talks so slowly that we miss our train.
and
I see.
what class you looking to travel in? Well, steerage, standard, first class.
What are the prices?
Well,
Dusty
for
will pop up.
steerage,
Luggage!
it's this little short hop will cost you one Galifar and 2 sovereigns each.
And what's the first class?
Well, first class. I have my calculator and rates out right now.
He's just. I imagine he's just sitting there like.
He does have an abacus, by the way.
And
a
he's just
financial
he's
abacus,
just
like clicking
hunting.
it over.
Oh, an abacus, never mind. I imagine like a calculator's just hunting, pecking the numbers.
Well, now that right there would be. Did I do this math right? That's the question here. That would be 7 Galifars and 5 sovereign
For one ticket, right?
for one, and that's one way from here to there, of course.
We are doing one right? That's what. Yeah, of course. I'll take it.
Roger. Identification papers, please.
I pull them out of my bag of holding.
He looks at it, kind of makes sure it's you. He nods, grabs a ticket, writes on the inside a little bit, and then places a stamp on it. He folds it back into your ID and gives it back to you. Go ahead.
Because
Subtract.
of the... Yeah, I
Right?
did. I subtracted it already. Because of the potion selling, I was able to afford it.
Anybody else?
I would like a ticket.
Very well. Same as him, or are you going? You're going to be a little more.
Well, I was gonna ask if you could put me in luggage, but I don't think that's a thing.
Oh, that's illegal.
I look at my
Why?
golden plated. I look at my golden plated diamond studded train ticket.
I wouldn't say it's that fancy, but it is written in cursive.
Oh, geez, I can't even read it. It's so fancy.
You put so much stuff there. Why not people?
Well, that's illegal. I can't
But
put
why?
you in there because it's the rules, the law.
The law?
I mean, you want to be treated like cargo? I can get you a spot on one of these caravans.
Hey,
You can sit in a box all day if you want.
That's
you might
neat.
wanna hurry
I
up, the
usually
train's
hang
coming.
upside down, but that
Um,
works.
I'm gonna tap his shoulder and say, "You might want to hurry up. The train is coming."
I'm
Okay, I'll
saying
do the
you
same
should
ticket.
hurry up and yeah. Same as him.
Yes.
All right, 7 Galifars, 5 sovereigns.
I changed my mind. I want the regular ticket.
You want the regular ticket?
Yes.
That'd be
Splitting up the party.
4 sovereigns and 5 crowns.
Wow, the regular tickets are cheap.
I messed up the math on the first one, Yark.
Oh, okay.
It's actually
Not-
15
not for the first
Galifars.
Zerth would walk up and just kind of lean down and go, "What's your cheapest ticket?"
That.
I can pay for his.
You want to pay for his?
I can do it.
All right.
4 sovereigns, 5 crowns.
And,
Everyone-
identification papers from both of you, please.
Oh, okay. Here.
Everyone just looks at him expectantly.
Grabs it.
Well, I
And
don't
at this
want
point,
to.
the lightning rail is coming into view now. You can hear a soft thrumming and the hiss of what sounds to be steam.
Yark is standing at the whatever it's called, the thing.
The platform.
Yes, thank you.
Show him the papers.
Looks in your paper, looks at you, grabs a ticket, writes on it, folds it in, and hands it to you, Dusty. And he grabs Zerth's papers, looks in it, looks at you, kind of gives the shield with the somewhat ripped covering a second glance, but just kind of shrugs and closes it, gives you a ticket.
Takes a long drag of his cigar.
Hands
Can
it to
I
you.
interest you in swords, sir?
He
Carrying a large
just
armful of
stares
swords.
at you and says, "No,
Okay.
that it's not really something I'm in the market for."
I didn't say sell. I asked if you're interested in swords.
As a hobby,
Yes.
no.
Okay.
Man, get wrecked.
I'm guessing the rest of y'all are planning to travel as well. And that'd be to the weasel-looking one and the one with the 3 tails.
Oh yeah, dude.
By
do
the
you
way,
have
is that a
anything?
fire hazard?
They're not lit right now. They're lit when he wants to.
Oh, okay. You wouldn't say that then.
Yeah.
Totally.
Anoon is purposely waiting to go last. He's trying to wait till the train pulls up.
All right.
Well, if it takes that long.
And I will regretfully inform you that your pet will have to have a ticket as well. I can put him in the cargo, in one of the cargo trains, but you know, you might want the best for him. It's a lot
He'll
cheaper.
come
though.
with me. He'll come
well.
with me.
Total for you two in the steerage class, that would be
9 sovereigns.
7 sovereigns.
Oh, 7?
I'll
Wait,
hand
no,
it over.
I did the math wrong. That is going to be 9 sovereigns.
And see a bird pecking randomly at a calculator.
What is beak?
He shoos away a pigeon from the abacus.
Dusty is on that pigeon.
A strange bright red pigeon with black markings.
Well, it's just a pigeon.
It escapes. And he looks sad. The pigeon outmaneuvered Dusty.
All right, and he grabs your identification papers, Sinnoh, and writes and gives you a ticket. You're going with, and this is as the train is as the lightning rail is pulling into the station. You see that it's not actually resting on the ground or on any rails, but it's actually levitating through these almost like lightning bolts stretching from these guide stones into almost identical looking guide stones in the carriages, in the locomotive, and they kind of spark and crackle, but they don't seem to actually harm the environment around them. Nobody's getting shocked. There's no fires being started. Though you do smell ozone kind of in the air.
Safinara, you can also get away with anything if you're Raku.
It's true. It's very true.
Anoon wants to, I want to make an Arcana check, because Anoon wants to check the wardings on the train.
Okay. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Dusty looks like he wants to sit on top of the train.
It's magic.
You've never seen a lightning rail like up close before. You've seen them kind of off in the distance while you've walked the plains once, but this is the first time that you've been able to look closely at it. And there's a let me actually get a picture of it. Actually, there should be a picture in Fantasy Grounds. Wait.
Raku bluffed his way past Alan Rickman.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yes, it did.
I don't know about that. I don't know if this is Alan Rickman.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. I thought there were 2 pyramids on each side,
No.
like, and had a. Okay.
Hey, Dova, can I do a history check?
What do you want to find out?
Just how long these trains have been around.
Sure.
Sure, there's a pamphlet in there. Hey, you got it.
You can.
Trains were my major in college.
I like trains.
You have a strange fascination with these because A, they're pretty dang cool. And B, there's a lot of lightning and magic involved, which is also pretty cool. They've been around for about, I'd say, maybe 100 years at this point. Although due to money restraints, the design has kind of stabilized. There's not been very much
offering.
innovation in regards to the design and prototypes of the Lightning Rail in quite some time.
Okay, so it's been around for 100 years or so.
Around 100 years, yes.
Okay. Yes, he has been fascinated by the moving boxes on magical pyramids.
Mm-hmm. And the 100 years, of course, is most of that time has been spent expanding the rail network. However, with the last war happening, it was happening very, very slowly, kind of an incremental pace, kind of like the. No, that wouldn't be analogous, but in recent years, it has been used quite a bit more, as it is. It's safe. It's getting well funded, due to the fact that the last war is now over. However, a lot of the lines running through Kyrie were kind of cut off when the morning happened. So it is kind of the lifeline for some of the eastern regions, again connecting to Breland and the other rich western, or connecting Breland to the rather rich Roar holds on the northeastern corner of the continent. I'm just kind of rambling right now, so I'm just gonna stop.
Yeah. He'll just look at it as it pulls up and goes, never been on one of these before. This should be fun.
All right.
So remember, you have to update your flaws and bonds and stuff that you like trains. Personality traits, you like trains.
Train's cool.
All
My
right.
grandpa actually sits and watches. Apparently, there is an actual TV show that is nothing but trains just running.
It's the way to go.
I'll never understand that.
I think everyone has a train phase.
I didn't.
No?
No.
I did like 6 months ago. Anyways.
That's why we started
Safanora, you remind me of the babe. Thank you so
Inun,
much
are you
for
going
that
to-
donation.
Don't talk about the baby.
No,
Like my
it's,
sweet-
you remind me of the babe.
Inun, are you going to buy a ticket or not?
Oh no, it's forget about the baby, huh?
No, you remind me of the babe.
That's no,
Yes,
no.
yes. You remind me of the babe.
Savinara,
What babe?
your
The babe
comments?
with the power. The power of voodoo. Who do you do? Do what? You know?
What's happening?
I don't.
Donation goal is filled, by the way, Dova.
Oh, look at that! You now have a copy of what was it?
How
of,
to capture...
How to capture targets alive.
That's
A
pretty
guide
funny.
by a retired bounty hunter with 6 arms.
He only started with 2.
Yeah.
He
know,
drank
I-
some of that. He drank some of that moonshine from American Dad.
No, he drank the purple stuff in the fridge.
A dude's gonna buy a ticket.
All right.
You know, I always
Fine.
thought... I was thinking from the description that the lightning rails were basically like monorails. You know, giant pillars all the way up in the sky.
Oh no.
But I wasn't expecting it so close to the ground.
Well, it floats. It's more
I'll
like a
take
train.
a first
Crunching
class
over.
ticket.
It's still so close to the ground, though.
All right, that would be 7 gold, 5 sovereigns.
What is gold?
Califars.
There you go. That's the attitude I want.
See, in a previous life, I would have haggled this down. But I will give you the, what is it, 7 Galifars?
7 Galifars, 5 sovereigns.
Alright. Rip off. Alright. Hey,
He looks at your provisional sort of ID, and kind of makes sure that there's a watermark, and then writes you a ticket.
damn,
You'll have a good day now.
thanks.
Alright, so we have 4 people in basic class, 1 in
2 in
Middle
first
class. Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, I thought Cobalt was 5 Califars.
No, I did the math right on that. That was 7 Galifar
Okay.
and 5 sovereigns.
Wait,
2 people
wasn't...
in first class and everyone else in basic.
Yep. Making fun of me. Thought so. As the train is now fully stopped, a handful of people are kind of getting out. Some of them look very similarly dressed to the various vagrants and gypsies who are kind of living in the tent city, just next to the station. There's a very sort of thrumming and static electricity in the air, as the ring which propels the lightning ray is currently not active, and just these errant sparks of electricity kind of arc from side to side of this, in kind of this ring that contains it. You all show your tickets to the conductor, who kind of points the direction towards the class that you've assigned, or the class that you've bought. Yark and Enun. First class is still very compact seating wise. However, you both have small kind of individual cabins. By convenience, you both have been assigned the same cabin, so you guys are kind of facing across each other in rather worn down but still soft and comfortable seating. The rest of you, however, in steerage class, are basically sitting on wooden benches, in rather tight confinement, with a lot of the other passengers who give you kind of weird looks. You can see that the ground has a few unnameable stains and a little bit of trash and kind of discarded food refuse on the ground. I mean, it has a certain odor, but it feels safe. And as the door closes and this waning, sort of wailing whistle cries out over the plains, you feel the train lurch forward as it begins its journey. Looking around, you can guess that this journey might take roughly 12-ish hours. All of you are exhausted. What do you all?
Sleep.
Okay, you just broke out horribly for me.
Yeah?
Dova?
What all did you get?
Like nothing.
At all?
Basically, it was
Oh.
just robotic.
Oh, cool. Let me
I
research.
mean, I heard all the description and stuff. It was like, I think something about tired or...
Oh, okay. You guys are exhausted. What do you guys do during the journey?
Wait, Dova, you just broke out.
Serious?
Hold
or-
on, what'd you say,
No,
Ray? You
no,
just broke out.
Anoon sleeps.
All right.
Do they offer food? On this
They do.
train?
First class gets a complimentary meal service.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna do that first.
All
He
right.
wakes up once he smells food. He's got
I'm
A,
gonna
uh,
sleep 5
An
minutes
attendant
later.
is
that
making her way down the aisle. She knocks politely at at the sliding door before kind of poking her head in. Hello. What would you two like to have for lunch?
What do you have?
Well, we have the Brellish purple lobster from the southern coast. We also have a fine selection of wines and cheeses, a meat sampler tray, if you so wish. And
Can I have...
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I thought you were done.
Very well. It's only a few more things. We have a very filling bread from the northwestern Demon Wastes. I've been told that it is aged very, very well. And finally, for those who don't like very much fuss, we have sandwiches with high-quality cuts of various cured meats.
Yeah, I can have lobster, please.
Yes, are the lobsters killed humanely?
I'm sorry?
Said, are the lobsters killed humanely?
I assure you they probably are.
Damn, alright, I'll take those. And, the strongest drink you have.
Very well. For those of you in the back, as the journey continues, are you guys going to be napping periodically?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Sinol and DeSoda will take turns staying awake.
All right. Probably a smart idea.
If there's anything to perch on in the ceiling, if there's not, Dusty will probably stay awake.
All right. There would be some rafters.
Yes.
However, they
Stay
do seem a little bit thin. Actually, no, they definitely would support your weight. The swaying of the car back from side to side, it does make it a little bit difficult as you start swinging every so often.
He will offer to Sinal if he wants him to take a shift while he and DeSoda sleep.
If you can stay awake, sure.
I can stay awake. People ain't gonna try
After-
shit while I'm hanging from these rafters.
The train continues onwards, hitting about 45 miles per hour. Although for you guys, it is insanely fast.
You know,
You
for
might
a minute,
as
I thought
well
you were
be
gonna
going-
sigh.
You guys
I
might
thought-
as well be going like the speed of light. Everything's zipping past at a mind-blowingly fast speed. You can hear the wind howling outside. The train is
Well,
kind of lurching every so often, but otherwise kind of gliding over the terrain, over these stones, which you can't really see at the moment unless there's a turn and you can kind of see ahead of the train through the window.
Yark's
You were about to say something,
Yeah, I was gonna say that Anun and Sinel are proficient with land mounts, so this might not be as impressive to them.
Probably not as impressive, but still, it's very fast.
Zerf's just amused.
Yark's gonna be looking out the window excitedly.
All right. You
So,
guys get back.
since
Sorry.
damn.
A few hours into the journey, that same attendant is making her way into your carriages, and is pushing along a cart full of what looks like bread and cheap, what look like paper skins full of liquid, kind of like a milk carton. And some of the passengers who obviously know what's going on are already holding out their hands expectantly, as the attendant is kind of going through, handing out these cartons of liquid to the patrons, as well as these rather dense looking loaves of this dark mealy grain. All right. I'm assuming you guys would get one as well, since you guys are getting quite hungry.
Yeah, I'd probably wake the people up. Say, hey, food over there.
I would eat one of my rations instead, and have a couple shots of my. Well, let's see. Which one do I want, actually? Let's see. The fire tea needs to be heated, and I can't really do that right now. I feel like there was another... Oh, there it is. The mead. I'll sip on the mead. Very slowly.
It seems to be aged fairly well, and is somewhat sweet with a high floral note. And while the ration is probably not one of the best things to pair it with, it does go down nicely. The loaves of bread that are given out are fairly coarse, but they are very filling. They're very nutritious, have a very heavy oat grain-like flavor. And for some of you who like that sort of stuff, it's very good. Inside the actual boxes of liquid is a watered down grog. So it's basically rum that's diluted with water to make it not spoil as easily. You'd have to drink quite a lot to actually get drunk.
Zerth would take one of the cartons, but go to the stewardess and is like, I brought my own snack, as he lifts backwards and pulls out the halfling he had on his back, slowly compressing it the entire train.
Dusty might lean forward and say, Daddy,
Back
no.
up.
What?
Back up. You've had that halfling on your back this entire time.
Yeah. The entire time.
Please
la-
make sure to tell me that.
I did. Twice. Last episode.
It was at the start of the session.
Mm-hmm. It's strapped around his back. Like a
All right.
backpack.
All right, so from now on, if anyone looks like something that would not be allowed in modern society, please let me know.
I thought you were just going to say something for it, because I have it equipped. Warren.
Forgot
Halfling
about it.
corpse.
So, first of all, as she sees the dead body on your back, she screams immediately. And
Dusty yells, "It's not a passenger! It's..."
in a
Also, hello, I'm
action
on
of
the
like
ceiling.
self-defense, she pushes the cart at you and immediately turns tail and runs through the carriage.
You know, maybe
Um,
you should eat that.
But we do have an influence, by the way.
What is it?
I sent it to you. Like I always do.
Oh boy.
Apparently, I get a mug of fire tea.
Yeah.
I'd say that you managed to find a complimentary heating element for those who want hot drinks, kind of embedded in the wall towards the back of the carriage. And as you would kind of place the wineskin inside, it would magically heat it after a few minutes, and you'd end up with a piping hot wineskin full of fire tea.
Alright, instead of the meat, I will finish that off.
All right.
Dusty will get down from his perch to enjoy whatever was in the cart. Or enjoy what's left in the cart.
The passengers of the cart are alarmed, to say the least, and are looking around to see what the commotion is until one of them, a female human, kind of looks at or points towards Zerth and screams out, "He's eating a passenger!"
It's not a passenger! He was riding a raptor and he shot us!
How loud are you?
He is probably about as loud as the woman.
You're completely drowned out by the screaming of the other passengers, who are currently trying to escape away from Zerth.
Oh. How unreasonable.
Dude, this lobster is absolutely delicious.
So,
It's so
for
soft.
you guys up in first class, a different attendant, a male humanoid, or a male human, brings along a cart with kind of dull-looking silver platters, complete with the covers and all. But they're not like full-size banquet platters. They're kind of just single plates. As he kind of brings it in, he places them in front of you, and at the same time he lifts the cover from both of your meals. Inun, what did you have? You both had the lobster.
I had the lobster and the strongest drink they had.
Okay. He lifts off the covers as you are kind of buffeted with this wonderful smelling steam. Buttery lobster laid out in front of you. There's sprigs of this tube-like herb kind of sprinkled over the top of this fanned open lobster. The shell hasn't been removed, although it is kind of cracked open. You are provided with a rather large napkin and a bowl for the shell. He reaches into the cart and grabs this clear bottle of clear-looking liquid, pours a small glass in front of you, Inun, and pours a healthy shot of what looks like this distilled liquor.
Thank you.
What would you like to drink, sir? As he looks towards Yark.
Hold on, what kind of alcohol would Yark enjoy?
We have various wines. We do also have non-alcoholic beverages.
Are liqueurs a thing? Like the sweet dessert stuff?
We do have some. He does appear to have some like juices and I think it's Drummel.
I was actually asking
Drummel.
you to see if that was a thing in the universe, but okay, that works too.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll try the Drummel.
He grabs another bottle from the bottom and pours you a rather tall cylindrical glass full of this golden yellow liquid. And smelling it, it smells of honey and flowers.
That sounds awesome.
Mhm.
I'm gonna hold my glass up to Noon and say, to the finer things.
Anun is gonna down that shot, look at the person, and go, "Don't go too far. Keep these coming."
Very well, sir.
He's fatigued, so he has disadvantage.
Mhm.
The lobster was not
For an
even
additional
touched.
fee, of course, I can sell this bottle directly to you.
And what's the fee?
I think this one, and he grabs one of the tags that's on it. 2 Galifars.
Well, that sounds like a great price. And he kind of throws them at him.
He kind of sighs as they fall on the ground. And
Another
he
one.
hands the sets the bottle on the table with the cork still in it, and he says, "Thank you, sir."
Has this been opened yet?
Yes, I opened it to pour for you. Although I
bought
think
a
I
new
only...
bottle.
Well, I didn't say I could sell you a new bottle. I said I could sell you this bottle.
What?
He looks towards Yark.
Yark is
Are
gonna
you
tap
his friend?
Yark is gonna tap Anun's shoulder and say, "Look, Anun, lobster."
His eyes go wide, and he just completely forgets about the conversation and starts eating the lobster.
He's gonna nod to the waiter.
How big is this bottle?
It's a small kind of vodka bottle. Maybe 1 liter total.
All
And
right.
Yark is gonna enjoy every bit of this meal.
He grabs the stuff and he starts to push the cart out into the hallway, and he says, "Just yell if you need anything, all right? I'll be around and making my rounds if you need."
Yark's mouth is full, so he's gonna just give him a thumbs up.
All right. As he's pushing his cart out, there's a kind of a commotion from towards the front as a handful of heavily armored guards kind of rush past the hallway, knocking the side of the cart against the door and kind of clattering the various bottles. But thankfully, nothing falls on the ground. The
Yark, did you see that?
attendant kind of he kind of pokes his head out to see if there's more coming, and
This is about the first time that they've heard Anun have any enthusiasm in his voice.
Did we see the guards, or did they go past they go past us?
yeah, they just ran past.
He's savoring the core. No, he didn't. Takes another sip.
Well, it's wonderful. As
The
he
super
pushes
sweet things are the only things I can enjoy.
as he pushes the cart out and heads off.
Wait,
Closing
what was
the door
this?
behind
This bottle?
It's just basically a refined dwarven vodka. So it's like triple distilled,
All right, so this is Everclear.
basically. Nail polish remover.
I'm probably not gonna
Meanwhile-
get drunk off of something small like this, right?
No.
Especially
Like-
considering that I work
hy-
with alcoholic drinks.
Well, hydromal isn't alcoholic.
Oh,
It's basically honey mixed with water and various other flavoring agents. Such
that sounds
as,
really good.
Flour, citrus, stuff like that. It's
I think-
the first soda.
That sounds awesome. I said liqueur at first, that's why I thought that's what it was.
I'm gonna call this Claret Clear.
Clear
Clean
you
and
right
clear.
out. So, meanwhile, in the back, there is basically a riot going on. People are trying to escape, either behind you because you guys are sitting kind of in the middle of the carriage. Are you gonna do anything with the body?
Yeah, he was going to eat it. It's
He's gonna
his
start
trade
eating
lunch.
it?
Yeah,
All
he
right.
Swallow it whole.
Well, Dusty's just gonna shrug. Oh well, I guess these people are just gonna keep being unreasonable. So I guess we got more space now. And
You
he's
do
gonna
have a
start drinking from the stuff that was from the cart that was pushed into Zerth.
All right. It's basically just
Sir,
a
yeah.
bunch of these cartons of grog.
He'll probably have 2.
All right.
And then maybe some of that hard bread loaf thing.
Mhm. It's definitely not anything like the bricks of bread. It's basically a rather dense mealy loaf. And you think you can actually taste some sunflower seeds in it.
Can I have a hand?
I'm guessing I know exactly what kind of hand.
I mean, maybe.
Is there a hand left? Did you already eat it?
He can pull one off.
As you lend him a hand. Or give him a hand.
Yeah. Throws it, gives him a high five.
Dusty will high five the hand before biting into it. So like,
Alright.
this is much better frog.
Alright, at about this point,
Slurp.
the rather heavily armored train guards would have made their way back from the front. They don't really... the attendants actually back at the rear of them, kind of pointing towards you, which is kind of silly at the moment, because you kind of think, wow, she needed to point me out?
Rude.
Now,
guards-
real quick, Sinnoh was at the back with the heating thing, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're at the opposite side. They're at the front.
Okay. He's kind of just gonna slide off to the side a bit and keep an eye, but ready to respond if he's needed.
All right. They're going to immediately draw these heavy rune-embedded maces, pointing towards you with loud, booming voices under these kind of streamlined but still very heavy, sturdy-looking helms. And they're going to say, "You put the man down right now."
Dusty's gonna turn around, but he's been dead for like 18 hours now.
Stop! You have violated the law.
He's ripened just enough.
Wait a second. I recognize you.
I'm not going to say it again. You put him down, then you come to me with your arms in front.
He's gonna swallow him. Or finish swallow him. Can't, like, stop mid-swallow.
Sir, gators don't work like that.
He's on
Also-
a fucking train. I don't care if he's a gator. And he rushes forward to strike you with the mace, which is now sparking with arcane electricity.
Can I do a reaction spell?
What spell?
I was just gonna do Shield of Faith.
All right. And that would add AC to you.
Yeah.
All right.
A cannibal
You are
cleric.
currently sitting.
Jeez.
What do you say, Nova?
You are currently sitting.
Mhm.
Oh my god. As before modifiers. What's your AC?
20 now.
20?
Mhm.
He would have a +3. +2 at the very least.
Just made it.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw. All right. As electricity surges through your body, you think your eyes just roll to the back of your head as you're kind of convulsing in your chair at the moment. The rest of you think you smell a little bit of burning flesh as you are basically knocked out. You're completely incapacitated from the electricity shooting through your nerves. And taking advantage of that time, the guard reaches out, grabs a pair of manacles, and hurriedly fastens them to your wrists.
Sinnoh is
Sir,
going to
you are
sigh.
being rude to my father.
Sinnoh is going to sigh and come up.
Mhm.
This is
He's
a...
going to notice that you're currently eating a hand. And he's going to point to you and say, "You come down here right now, or I'll get one of these guys to get you too."
Okay.
But
It looks
I
like
can't
fun,
put
don't
it
it?
back. A little bit.
He kind of nods his head towards one of the other guards, who is going to try to attempt the same thing. What were you gonna say? Sinnoh? What's that sound? Is that the dog?
Yeah, that's my dog.
Good
I can
lord.
Make her go away.
Sinnoh
So
is
loud.
going to walk up and just kind of holding out his hands in a kind of a peaceful gesture, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay. The halfling that he just ate tried to kill us long before we got on the train.
No, remember to tell him he was part of the that one gang.
He was part of the insert gang name here.
All right.
I have their swords. And records.
Dusty, you shut up.
No.
Quiet.
Okay.
He kind of points to you with the crackling mace. He says, "You with this guy too?"
We travel together for a short time here. I'm not entirely accustomed to his actions,
He's got a
his
dog.
dietary... Dusty, I said shush!
Okay, since you said nicely.
Hey, Dova.
Yeah.
Yark is going to dip a stick of his lobster meat in the butter sauce before eating it.
The butter sauce actually has like these little flecks of maybe like a hot pepper,
Ooh,
just kind of like a powder.
interesting.
And it's just fantastic. It's buttery smooth. It has a super nice sweetness, and it's kind of funny they called it purple lobster, but it's still red. You reckon it was probably purple before they pulled it out of the water, or before they
Delicious.
cooked it.
Oh no,
Yark,
it's
you
totally
tried to-
not...
Butter.
It's actually
Right.
yellow.
It's so
A
good.
bright yellow.
You spill a little butter over the table, Inun. Thankfully,
eyes-
most of it is still in the little cup.
His eyes go wide and he starts looking back and forth at the cup and the spill.
This is the polar opposites.
He's
Okay.
so heated.
Speaking of, sorry,
Is
I
this
just saw Safanara's message there. Did you guys see there's a Darkest Dungeon 2 coming?
Serious?
That's awesome.
Yes, it was announced, I think today. They gave a very brief spoiler video of it on Twitter. And really the only thing that you know that it's got snow on it. And it looks like there's a frozen mountain.
Woo.
And it,
And the only thing that I know that it's the second one is because they showed the typical torch, but instead it had a line down the center, so the Roman numeral 2.
Yeah.
Hey, Dova.
I am
Yeah?
excited. So it was announced like 8 hours ago.
I'm just gonna say that of all the times I've ever split the party in D&D, this is my favorite.
Oh yeah, this is fantastic.
this is great.
Anyways, back to
I
what
aim to please.
Yeah, let's get back to
Dusty's
police
being
brutality.
idiot. Dusty's
He is going to swing one of the maces at you. He's going to have to jump up to actually try to reach you.
is that really necessary?
I don't think so.
Sinnoh's gonna try and...
Did you drop the hand?
Yes.
Then he's not
Honestly,
going to.
Honestly, he was just chewing it to get some blood out.
However, two of the guards are going to kind of reach over and start dragging Zerth towards the front of the train.
He would like to hop
Hold on.
down.
Hold on. Just, I will make
What?
sure I will make sure he behaves. You can keep him in manacles. There's no need to take him anywhere else. He's not gonna eat anyone else. The only reason he did that is because the guy tried to kill him.
You see, and he nods to the guys who just keep going. I don't know any of that. Your friend, whoever the fuck he is, just ate a guy. He might have been dead. He might have been alive. I don't know who he is. He might have been a gang member. I don't care. He's on the train. He's causing troubles. You want to go with him? Because there's plenty of room.
I mean, the accommodations may possibly be at least more space than here, but no, I do not.
I do.
Dusty, you're staying here.
But it's my dad.
You're staying here.
Right. He reaches into his satchel and grabs another set of manacles.
Am I
Very tiny
conscious
ones.
during all this, or am I out?
You are
You're
out.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I was dazed.
If
or
you
what.
have to, just take him. We'll figure it out when we get to our destination.
That's the hope.
Back in
As he,
first
uh,
class.
As he manacles Sinnoh, sorry, not Sinnoh. As he manacles Dusty and begins dragging him along towards the front.
This seems unnecessary.
He also grabs the hand and places it in a satchel.
Sinnoh's gonna
Alright.
sigh and just sit down. Shaking
Hey,
his
Nova.
head, wondering how the events of his life made it to this point.
He
You met
does.
a gator man in the city. That's how that happened.
And Dusty willingly asking to go to jail.
All right, who was calling
So,
for me?
a drop of the butter sauce drips off of the lobster and onto your shirt. And Yark goes, "Oh man."
This is the worst.
Disaster.
And Noon points at it and goes, "Hey, don't let that go to waste."
He's gonna pull his shirt forward and lick it off.
His Noon is finished with his lobster. He takes another swig straight out of the bottle. Lets out a loud belch, and then just passes out.
You notice that he didn't even touch his steaming, like herb encrusted, like biscuits.
Ooh, I'm gonna dip those in the butter. Holy cow!
They're artery clogging.
Okay,
Perfect.
one sec. Anir, what the hell is this influence supposed to do?
That's a great.
Literally,
Well,
he
well,
wrote, T size intensify. There's not enough T for this.
We
What?
get tea in jail.
I'll be right back real quick.
All right,
What is this supposed to
You're
do?
you're not gonna be conscious for a few moments, anyways.
Oh, is
So
this for?
Is are the two of them gonna be dragged by us?
Yeah, actually, that's what I was just about to get to.
That's right. That's what I was hoping.
As you are in the middle of one of those wonderful, like, flaky, buttery biscuits, you
Mm.
see that the guards are now coming back, much slowly now, and kind of dragging something along.
Athena's
Meanwhile,
asleep
back in
and-
lower class,
As the,
Sinnoh
I mean,
is
don't actually-
rubbing over DeSoto's head and stuff.
what is? Oh, you're okay.
He's petting DeSoto.
All right.
And so Noon is asleep, and Yark is
Water
very
influence.
enamored with his biscuits and butter that he's just discovered this amazing combination.
Mm.
He doesn't even look up from his plate.
So you wouldn't even see Zerth anyways, as he's being
Correct.
dragged along the ground, and the window is kind of on the upper half of the door.
And Dusty is small.
You would see the top of his ears. And Dusty, as you're walking along these, in the first class, you smell all these wonderful scents. You are rather full at the moment, though. With smells like these, you can probably make some room. However, you are being kind of pulled along by the guard.
Can I
Kinda
tell
grabs
it's
I'm
your
back.
ankles. If
I
you're
don't think
peeking through the windows,
He'd
Oh,
probably
yeah.
be looking around. This is more like a walk through the park to him.
yeah,
He
you
does
probably
not seem to understand the full gravity of the situation.
you probably would glance through one of the windows at some point and see them enjoying Inu
Okay.
asleep.
A very relaxing train ride.
Yeah. So it's faint.
Hi, Yark. I'm getting arrested.
At that point, you're
Yark's
past
gonna-
the door.
York's gonna wave at him and say, "That's nice,"
Okay, thanks.
without looking up.
All right.
I'm so glad I'm out.
Okay, I love you. Bye bye.
And then as soon as his food's done, he's gonna take a nap.
All right.
How long is the trip again?
About 10 hours.
Okay, cool. We'll definitely have enough time to get a long rest.
All of you, including the ones who are, you know.
Detained.
So, the two who are currently being arrested are brought into a car just behind the train engine. You can hear it kind of thrumming just to the front. And in here is a kind of a combination of crew quarters as well as a very small rig with 3 individual cells.
What's with all this influence? I can keep
People
hearing
thinking
the
that the
notifications
world-
going off.
Zerth is kind of stuffed into this cage. The door kind of locked and latched behind him, with the manacles still on though. And then you're kind of just led into, and you're kind of just gently pushed into the cell opposite of him. So there's kind of one in between you two.
Okay.
And then he locks that one as well. And then the guard is going to go over and kind of slowly, gently kind of kick and prod Zerth until he slowly wakes up. Zerth, you're disoriented. You are seeing stars in your vision, and everything kind of hurts and tingles. And as you open your eyes, you realize that you're kind of upside down inside this small holding cell.
Adorable.
My
And
tail's
as you
my
wake
face.
up, yep. You can see the upside down guard in front of you, or right side up, depending on perspective.
Good morning.
He's gonna go, and look at the guard. Hey, sweet stuff. What happened?
Don't call me that. First of all,
Only my boyfriend can call me that.
He tries
of
to
all-
wait.
considering how you handled that, I figure I should be the one calling you sweet stuff.
Hmm.
Right. So, I'm
He
going
winks
to
at the
give you
alligator.
2 options. First option, you're going to throw up the man who you ate, and then I'm going to charge you for possibly murder. Maybe we'll see if self-defense can stick. Plan 2, I'm definitely going to charge you with murder. And that's it.
Hmm. He's gonna try to right himself, but his big butt is stuck. So he's
You can
upside.
you can slowly manage to kind of worm your way into an upright position.
Are they gonna offer me a meal after to replace the one I'm giving up?
I mean, he was gonna say that, but Zerth, will go, I don't know what you were talking about. I was just eating my train lunch.
My packed lunch.
You can roll deception if you want, but it's not gonna do anything.
He was trying to like persuade it that because it's just meat.
Oh, okay.
As a cleric, once the soul leaves, the body is just bones, gristle, and tissue.
Right. Your religion might say that. That's cool. I don't care.
Hmm.
You think it's that guy's religion that he gets eaten? Think
Well,
that's cool. You think it'd be cool for us all to have a banquet with your brother? How about that?
Don't teach my hamster.
actually,
to
my
suck
brother was
eggs.
part of a banquet, so that does not work. But
He
thank
just
you.
rubs his forehead. You do understand
So much influence.
my demands.
I understand. They're not
Yeah.
unreasonable.
Dova, we have a relevant influence here.
Oh, a relevant one. Nice.
As Zim is just sulking and contemplating where everything went wrong with his life, one of the other, as the train kind of calms down, one of the other passengers in the back seems to be a violinist or a fiddler. As it plays a very sad, melancholic melody.
That's the Imperial March.
Oh, that's something else.
Do you accept or refund the other influence?
That one.
There you go. I will have to deny it.
Aww!
What?
Aww!
As much as I want him to appear.
I kind of am curious now.
Let me think about it a little bit more.
Oh my god, is the raptor gonna run into the train and
Nope.
the bandit leader's corpse? Oh man, I was excited for a second there.
Oh no, it's even better.
No, it's worse.
Oh, even better.
Arguably
The
worse.
train gets attacked by the last surviving bandit.
I think they're all dead.
Hey, look, it's
I thought
fast
one
food.
Oh
got
no, yeah,
away.
one of them ran away. No, I'll have to deny it.
All
I don't think
right.
it's gonna work.
I mean, he could just be randomly riding in the train and come in.
Yes, but
And his raptor.
They paid for first class tickets.
Ugh. They were not that wealthy when we lived them.
All right, we'll just refund it.
actually,
Oh,
I keep changing my mind.
Come on, Dove.
I'm ready to do it.
We'll accept it.
Oh boy.
Shall I come in and do so? Or are you gonna handle it?
I think I'll go ahead and handle it.
You gotta do the voice right.
I did.
A-
I did an
and you
entire
can't-
resort, so I think I can do the voice just fine.
You can't forget the harumph. You know, the drawn out thing. That's his signature.
I got you.
Okay.
So, as he's kind of continually demanding that you spit up the poor man. No, he's dead. You hear a small commotion just outside, as the door leading into this carriage opens, kind of filling the room with the sound of a very briskly moving air. The door closes as one of the guards just kind of he shrugs with a exacerbated look on his face. The guard who brought you all in kind of looks over, and you both see a rather dapper looking kobold, wearing a full top hat,
Oh
suit,
no, I know who this is.
a suit with coattails, and a scepter. He looks over at the commotion and says, "Oh, just what is going on here?
That is not right!
You want to do it?"
Zim, I'm just gonna tell you right now, Dova could have done it perfectly, and you still would have said it was wrong, just so you could do it yourself.
Yeah.
No!
I'm thinking that.
If he had drawn it out properly, I would not have said anything. Anyways.
I'm sorry. That just totally threw me off. I forgot.
What were we doing?
Little mouse button.
Kobold, Yark has a... I said kobold this time, by the way, not kobold. Yark has a dream about the lobster.
That's very good. He's going to say, "I pay you all an exorbitant amount of money, just so that I can keep this train secure. And what happens? This. What do I pay you for?" And the guard kind of looks up. He looks at the other guard who was kind of outside the room, trying to keep this rather posh-looking kobold outside. He shrugs and he says, "Sir, I think we've handled this quite nicely." The kobold replies, "Quite nicely? I don't believe so. I was woken from my nap. My beauty sleep was ruined. And now this smell permeates throughout my cabin. I demand something be done of it right away." And the guard says, "Absolutely, sir." The kobold kind of looks over to you, looking very much downwards at you both. He kind of strolls over.
Impressive,
Gives
since
you an
he's
eye.
shorter than both of us.
Oh yeah, he's he acting much taller than he truly is. He kind of looks over to you all and harumphs, and turns around, kind of clicking the scepter on the ground, and making his way out. He turns to the guard one last time and says, "If these two are still in here, by the next time I come back, I will have your job." He kind of flips his head and strolls back out. Christ.
Oh man, now I want some sip. Some high-class sip.
The guard is just kind of grimacing.
Okay, but why?
He looks at you two. He says, You proved to me that was actually a member of that gang, and I'll look past it.
What do you need,
I
sir?
won't turn you over to the authorities. Prove it to me that guy in your gut right now was part of the gang.
I have his weapons, and a friend of mine has meat from his mouth.
Psst, you have his identification papers.
I have his crossbow and his dagger as well.
Hey, Dova?
Yeah?
Did the bandits have a distinctive look as far as clothing goes?
They were just halflings.
They would actually. They would have had these faded red scarves tied around their neck. They would have also had these daggers that have been kind of modified to. They're kind of ground to a very thin point.
Oh, I had
They
those
also
daggers.
have a red string of leather kind of tied near the palm.
How big is this cage? Can I stand up into it, or am I more like...
You can definitely stand up. It's
You said that they
roughly
had daggers, yes?
roughly 2.5 feet. Actually, it's more like 3 feet in either direction, and reaching up to the roof.
Okay.
Hey, Dova.
Yeah.
When you, I sent a picture to the group chat, which I think feels a good reaction picture to the kobold that we just met.
That's basically his face.
Ah, yes. That works.
I love his
Excalibur.
reaction so much.
Ex-
I love it.
He's, Zerth is just gonna shake his head, and he's just, like, have you ever seen a cat throw up a hairball?
It's gonna be
I
like
have.
that.
It's gonna, like, the ridges. It's
Alright.
just kinda, but instead of the head neck lift to get it out, it just kinda just comes out. Because they don't have that neck movement.
All right. Is you're saying the whole thing?
Yeah, well, he swallows it whole, so it's gonna come up like a whole pretzel.
All right. He looks at it and he says, "I'm gonna open the cage now. Pull him out. You do anything fucky, and we're gonna get you twice with the baton. How about that? I'm
It's just
sure you
scary.
had lots of fun the first time."
It was shocking.
Stop.
The guard rolls his eyes.
No.
He slowly he unlatches the cage and swings it open.
As
And
soon
then-
as it opens up, he's gonna make a kissy face.
You don't have lips though.
I
kinda
know,
hard.
so it just comes off like snapping.
Also, can you you can wink, right? Alligators have eyelids.
Yeah,
Yeah, he can wink,
S-
but
like a bunch of eyelids.
yeah, he winks all of them at the same time.
She was always smiling. She didn't have any lips.
But he's not gonna move.
All right. He pulls the now kind of soggy, bile-covered gang member out from the cage and kind of lets him sit on the floor. And looks at him. He looks at some of the clothing at him and nods. And says, "Right." As he nods to the other one who closes and locks the gate again. As he's weighing over his options internally. And eventually just comes to a silent conclusion and says, "You're lucky." And the guard, who seems to be his lackey, is going to drag the halfling over towards the door. The door slides open, and you can see him kind of look both ways, look into the crew compartment, which at this point is empty, and he's going to kind of heave the halfling over the chain railing and just toss him into the space between the cars.
No, my
Wait, but that's
lunch!
his food!
My lunch!
I think you'd be having bigger problems than being hungry if they found out that that was in there, or that was in your stomach. All right.
He shrugs.
Can I have these manacles?
Dusty, ask nicely.
Can I please have these manacles?
Just have them?
Yes.
Are you still wearing them?
I assumed that, well, they put him on, and I never heard you say they take them off.
He would look over at you two and sigh again before undoing both of your manacles. However, you are still within the cages. As he says, "That's all the leeway I can give you. I can't let you back into the cabin, seeing how everyone is terrified. So you're gonna stay in here. You're gonna get off last. And I never saw you."
Can I have something bloody to chew?
No.
Oh.
Anoon's gonna stumble in. Is this the latrine?
Yes, come in.
Oh, hey, you guys.
He's gonna sigh. "Sir, these are the crew quarters. The latrine is towards the rear of your car. I can lead you there if you like." As he says through gritted teeth.
That'd be great because I don't remember what color it is.
I think
Cool.
he's tired of us. Please go with him.
He's going to go with you and bring you and guide you to the latrine.
Now, did he
As-
take away the manacles?
He did.
Oh,
They're sitting currently on one of the tables inside this area.
hey, how long do you think he's gonna be gone?
There is currently the two other guards still in here.
He's still asking. Because he looks
Probably
like super wasted, so I think he's gonna be in the bathroom for a really long time.
Yeah, it looks like whatever he was drinking hit him hard.
But why do you drink alcohol?
I'm done.
Some
Can you help
people
me get
find
back.
enjoyment. I don't know.
Dusty's going to look up for anything to perch on in his cell.
Alright, there would be bars near the top that you could perch on easily.
He
Are
would
they-
perch on these bars?
Are they next to each other?
No,
They're
they're
across from each
separated.
other.
They're separated by one cell.
Oh,
So there's
okay.
3 cells in a row. You guys are on either end.
Okay, because if they were next, he would have stuck his tail through so Dusty could perch on top of it.
No. Unfortunately.
I'm not that evil. Come on.
In fact,
I think
he
this
is
adventure has
so
gone pretty
not
great so far.
evil that he let us without a permanent mark on our record.
I still miss
So
my
more.
lunch. Perfectly good meat wasted.
I think there's worse things that could have happened.
Dusty is going to rock back and forth and go to bed upside down, probably to the unnervement of the other guards.
Yeah, he's
Alright.
just Zerth would just go to sleep. Might as well. He lost his lunch, so might as well sleep.
All right. So, after another couple hours of traveling, you eventually start to see signs of civilization from the windows. You see urban structures, these manors on the outskirts of the town in the hillsides. the sight of the smoke from various buildings, various establishments and industries float up into the sky. You are now entering the town, actually the trading city of Sterilasker. The train, the lightning rail slowly comes to a stop, stopping in this much larger station than when you got on. Instead of being merely a wooden platform, there's actually a roof here. There's at least 30 or 40 people milling around, either waiting for a train, selling these pre-boxed meals, and various other things. As you are heading out, you notice, those of you who are kind of attentive, the moment you step foot on the platform, your ticket actually turns a tarnished shade of brown, almost like it's being burnt up, but it still remains structurally sound. Yark and Enun, you are very gently woken up by the attendant, who basically just knocks on the door a few times until you kind of stir from your nap, Yark. Enun, you are not waking up very easily.
Hey, Dova.
Yeah?
So, in the House Galanda, like, agent's description,
Yeah?
it says that not only do I have like experience with alcoholic drinks, but also things like hangover cures and how to help people from getting drunk really quickly. Would helping wake up a drunk person easier be in that repertoire?
Yeah. You probably have a small vial specifically for that.
I mean, it was
full
like
of
10
smelling
hours
salts.
since then, so
That's
How do
true.
you know-
You probably would have slowly gotten to a point where you'd be considered kind of sober.
Or you drunk more and then passed out again?
Would you have drank more?
well, I would be sober at this point, but when I wake up, I'm gonna take like a half shot.
All right.
So he wakes up easier, I'm guessing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Koval, dang it, I did it again. Yark, quickly brews a makeshift hangover cure.
All right. Well, one you've heard of is very nice. Is a small glass filled with some chili oil, salt, a lot of pepper, and a raw egg.
Egg.
Do you think that I'd be allowed to get an egg from the cart from
Yeah,
the
you
people?
could just flagging the attendant down. You could grab one from the
And?
small kind of kitchen.
And then that's 3 uses of Hewer's handy spice pouch. And then there we
There
go.
you go.
That's awesome. I never
Look at
thought it
that.
would come in handy like that. I love it.
All right, being offered this, Anun drinks that instead of any of the hair of the dog.
All right.
And then
So-
we head out, and Yark does a very big stretch when he gets out of the train. And said, "Wow, that was so relaxing. Definitely worth it."
Sinil,
Dova,
you
you want to give us a long rest?
Sorry,
Sinil, you would have been in earshot for that.
Oh, and Dova, before we continue though, were we offered a second meal because it was 10 hours?
You were offered
one-
yeah, you would have been offered a small kind of
Breakfasty thing? Or-
more of a midday snack. It would have been mostly just meat sample
A
platter.
charcuterie board?
Yeah, charcuterie board.
Excellent.
Stefanara, I'm just referencing Danny DeVito.
Oh,
Egg. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. I've been doing that for years.
And Yark's gonna say that lobster was unforgettable.
What
Safanara is
lobster?
referring to the Monday group where we have a lizard folk who basically just buys out a bunch of eggs every town she goes to.
Is
We
her
need-
name Is her name Joanna?
No.
We really need to add a sound alert or whatever it is of just the end of the video going egg.
Need
I mean,
is
you as a
debatable.
subscriber, you do get access to one.
All right, that's definitely mine.
Well, find it, send it to me in MP3 format, and I'll get it added.
All
What kind
right.
of subscriber do you need to be?
Huh?
A.
A? Is that like
Yeah.
the highest tier or the lower tier?
Just a subscriber.
Oh, A subscriber. Okay.
Yeah, if you're a subscriber, you get one. If you're a patron, you get one. So you can have two. And yeah.
Alright, cool.
I can't remember if I'm subscribed. I'm not.
Anyway, we're off the train, and what happened?
So it is
Sinnoh was in your
currently
arrives.
roughly 4 o'clock in the evening. You guys.
Thank you very much for that, Nova.
Hey, no problem, man.
Oh, you've only been DMing for us for 2.5 years, and now you decide to...
Yeah, I figure now is the time to do it.
He was waiting for the
Oh.
perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
Hey, Nova, you said Sinnoh was in earshot when Yark said that?
Yeah, Sinnoh would have been in earshot when Yark is basically saying, "Oh, that was a wonderful, lobster meal.
Very relaxing trip.
Very relaxing."
I'm glad you guys had a nice trip. I got stuck with the gator.
Speaking of which, as the crowds are thinning out, Zerth and Dusty, you're basically pushed off.
Our modest
You
fellowship
kind of stumble down the few
Grace
steps
the
leading to
sub.
the platform.
Burf.
Another sub! Thank you for that gift subscription there, X Crossing.
Look at that.
The Danger Drago has a subscription now.
Wow.
Oh,
You know, making our own trouble seems to attract people.
Mhm.
Yes.
By the way,
but
Zerth and Dusty, you look like shit.
Zerth's gonna get
Why?
himself up, look at the train, and go, next time I'll bring 2, 1 to share.
The door leading to the inside of the train just closes. You can clearly see the guard just shaking his head and going back inside.
I think we made friends.
I think so too, Dusty. And he's gonna pat him on the back. We made lifelong friends.
Yeah. So that's what a jail's like.
Yeah, it's a lot more cozy than I thought. They were very nice.
Oh no, my clothes is all wrinkled. It's stuffed upside down. Oh, this is the worst.
Absolute worst.
Tug, tug, tug.
All right,
don't know
you
about you.
guys are now regrouped. 2 of you are extraordinarily hungry.
Actually, I ate a lot before, so I think only
That's
Zerth
true.
is particularly
I think
hungry.
that would only be Zerth. You
He's
do have a lot of
famished.
meat, either in the party or I know you have a lot.
Cobalt, can we have that raptor meat?
I gotta cook it first. I never cooked raptor meat before.
He will pause and look over to Zerth. Do you want to let him?
I prefer raw, but yeah, he can cook. More experience. Life is all about experience.
Okay,
Hmm.
he can wait.
So what are we doing now?
Actually, could someone roll me 2d20, please?
Oh, that was really fast.
Really fast.
He was waiting for it.
Not really. It was actually on my phone. I moved my chair, put my hand on my mouse.
He's been holding the D20s for the past 5 minutes.
He's gonna call it. I know he is.
Oh, it wasn't. I was
Yeah.
looking. I was trying to find that MP3.
Mhm.
Surprisingly, it's nowhere. I have to make one.
Alright, so what happens then?
Um. So where are you guys going actually? You guys
Well, you
are
said this
currently
is a
at
trade
the
city, right?
Lightning Rail Station in Sterilasker.
You said this
I-
is the trade city, right?
Yep, this is
I-
a commerce hub. Basically the stopping point for many places either in the east, Zalargo, Breland, a lot of caravans coming from the Shadow Marches, Droam, kind of meet up here. Um, a lot of expeditions that start in like Zalargo and head towards the south, towards the continent of Zendrix. They also come through here. Um, it's basically a city that's made its living off of bits and pieces here and there from the various travelers coming.
I think our original goal here was to inform somebody of the what happened in Nathier,
Correct.
since we already found the gems, quote unquote. So
Dusty is more interested in finding some sort of general goods store,
Mhm.
because he does not know what place he would go to replenish his lockpicks picks.
What's happening? Oh, sorry.
Mhm.
Suddenly something really loud came up on my, Oh. Ad for Zim's channel. For the How to Train Your Dragon movie.
I don't have
Thanks,
control
Zim.
over those at all. I wish I could disable it.
I was like, what is this loudness that I'm suddenly being assaulted with?
Anun's gonna
Sorry
look
for
for
interrupting.
a
Continue.
magic shop.
He's gonna look for a magic shop. All right.
Yeah.
Zerth would probably go with Anun because he's kind of curious about these dragon shards.
All right.
He's heard stories, but he's never had one before.
Very well.
Speaking of Dova,
Yeah.
do I know what kind of potions I could use these dragon shards in?
They're particularly useful
Or the
in potions
powder
that
specifically?
enhance abilities. Although, to be honest, it's very easy to find a buyer or a seller of various dragon shards.
Oh, I'm
It
gonna
is
use
sort of
them.
what?
I'm gonna use them.
All right. What are you going to make?
Oh, for the powder's probably gonna be used for potions. I believe I got a couple medium ones and the big one. I have an idea for what I'm gonna use a big one for, and I sent you a PM. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, I will wait the answer on that.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna hold off on what I'm gonna use the small ones for now. Could I
Sorry? You cannot hear anything you're saying.
Darn. You know, I'll just experiment. I'll make a random potion using a little bit of the dust.
All right. As you are, so the city of Sterilasker is much like many of the other large cities in on Eberron. Multi-story buildings, some of which reaching up to like 5 stories high. Weaving city streets, populated with bustling traffic of both horse-drawn carriages and elemental carriages, which seem to drive themselves. There's also the ever-present sight of the whirling, glowing flame ring of an elemental airship overhead. You reckon that there's at least 2 or 3 currently stopped in the city at the moment. You are kind of stuck amongst the midst of a crowd. You eventually actually give me an investigation check to find a magic shop.
All right. That is. All right.
All right. Heading to a market plaza that deals with actually selling things directly to people instead of sort of bulk trading. You find kind of an open-faced shop, kind of nestled into a building, and you can see the glass counters are positively stocked with these various rings, baubles, and trinkets. The curator is a wizened-looking gnomish man, and the name of the store is this.
A gnome's home.
That's pretty good.
That sounds like an inn.
Yeah, that sounds a lot more like an inn or like a tavern.
A gnome's tome.
That one's also pretty good, but more like a library. It's selling like trinkets. Also, I don't know if rhyming's gonna do so well.
I mean, it's a gnome. It's got a rhyme.
Is it his gnome's home?
We already did that.
Elegon's Artificery.
That's not as fun.
At the moment, he's currently just hawking some of his wares to a person in his shop who is currently looking at a lantern, which is emanating a sort of bluish light, which you've seen kind of all over the city. There's these lamp posts with this bluish flickering light instead of actual flame. As he sees you approach, he kind of blinks a few times and says, what can I get for you? Would you like anything? I have plenty on offer.
Do you have any spellcasting type wares, or is it all just...
Oh, I have plenty of wands. I have various orbs. Do you need... what are you looking for in particular? I bet you I have it.
tomes, scrolls, knowledge?
I see. I know for a fact that I do have a few spell tomes on offer. What are you looking for in particular? I might be able to rent you one of my books.
At this point, whatever you have, everywhere I go is just trinkets, baubles.
Ah,
Trinkets,
so something
odds and ends, that sort of thing.
Shut up.
Stop it. Sell you my was it sister if I could? Or it's mother.
No,
No, it's
that,
sister.
that was a joke. Of course, everyone's favorite. Gods be praised.
Gods be praised.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
I need to
Oh.
add some of those sound effects to it, to the channel.
Dude,
Skyrim
Skyrim quotes are the best.
Great.
Take a look
I work
at
for
my
Bellathor.
wares.
I work for Bellathor at the general goods store. I work with my mother to sell fruits and vegetables. It's fun
Ow.
most days,
I
but it's
have-
hard work.
I have a few spells. This one can identify the magical properties of items for you. He puts it away and kind of looks through it. He says, "This one is a self-defense spell. Some people call it magic missile. Although it's kind of a misnomer, as the normal casting produces 3. Really, it should be magic missiles.
I like the way this guy thinks.
Hmm. I think it might be better if you tell me what you need. Otherwise, I might be standing here for hours.
Do you have that many?
I have hours, yes.
Books.
Books? I would say so, yes. Either here or in my personal collection, available for a small fee for you to study from.
How much?
For these, for spells of this magnitude, I would allow you to borrow it to scribe into your own personal tome, or 5 Galifars for each one. For the more powerful ones, probably 15 Galifars.
Alright, well, thank you. I'll have to get a hold of more funds because I'm interested in your library.
Of course, of course. I can see that you are a man of fashion, of making sure that you look good. Are you interested in any enhanced clothing?
Unless you can enhance what I'm already wearing, then I'm fine.
Oh, I can enhance it. Those sigils along your sleeves, I can make them glimmer and shine. I can make them move. I can make them have... I could make them... the lettering kind of move in an almost ever-continuing scroll. How about that?
Can you do anything practical with them?
Perhaps. I know of a particular trick to conceal something up a sleeve. And it's so seamless that even if one were to roll your sleeves back, then they wouldn't notice a thing.
Well, like I said before, I need to acquire more funds first.
Ah, that's understandable. I do have a lot of these small trinkets maybe you'd be interested in. If not, then...
Unless you have a job that needs doing, I apologize. I best not look at anything else.
I see. I can offer... What about sales? And I'm sure I can offer a steep discount for a magic user such as you. Fellow magic user.
Let me see. Add a character, I have 13 sovereigns. Maybe 16 with my crowns.
I'm trying to see if there's anything that cheap.
Because I could use a chest full of gems right about now.
I mean, you got those dragon shards. They're worth a lot, especially to an artificer.
That's a good idea.
Wink, chat.
Can't just say that.
Like an artificer would seriously buy those up. That's what they are used for. They use them.
Zim can panhandle as much as he did on Monday. I can hint, wink, wink at the audience.
Real bad.
Yeah, well, I'm actually looking at my inventory right now, but I'm looking at the screen, but I'm not seeing anything. I need to actually focus right now.
Sinnoh, I don't know where Sinnoh actually would be at this point, but probably would have followed the group.
I mean, there was only 2 of us here, right?
Well, I don't think anyone else is doing anything, so we might as well go as a group.
And Sinnoh's got nothing else to do. He's not the most comfortable in cities. And he does want to sell his dragon shards.
Yeah, but right now, Anu doesn't exactly want to walk into a shop with the 2 cannibals from the train.
Hey, you don't know what happened.
Yeah.
You weren't
That's
informed.
that's actually true. All right, fair played. So Anun is gonna bring out one of his many vials of dragon shard powder
All right.
and offer it to the very desperate shopkeep for appraisal.
You're gonna, so each of the vials we'll say is like 1 pound.
Okay.
And he'll kind of look at it excitedly and bring out a small kind of a jeweler's kind of eyepiece. He says, "May I?" And he reaches out to take it. Takes it, looks at it through the eyepiece, kind of twisting it around, and says, "I've seen better quality, but these are still good. I'd say for this vial, I'd offer you a trade for." Looks back at it. 4 Galifars each.
That's
And
not bad.
how many vials are you willing to take? I have a few.
How many do you have?
I have 5.
5? I'd be willing to take all of them. I said each one was 5 Galifars, right?
Yeah.
That's
So
5
far.
including this one, right?
Yes.
Yes.
25 Galfar is not bad.
I have a number of things I can trade for all this. Are you still looking for spells or?
Spells and incantations for those with the talent to cast them.
Yes, I can offer you 25 gold for trade-in. Otherwise, I could give you 20, and you can spend it how you wish.
All right, GameStop. Show me what kind of items you
I was
have.
about to say. Trades in entire Xbox collection as well as the Xbox 360. I'll give you $4.95
$4.95.
Come on,
Or-
I'm kind of
or-
stretching here.
or $10 in store credit.
$10. Hmm.
No, what it is, you trade them all in. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna need about $5 to take all this.
Hmm. Well, I did come into possession of a spell shard, which has been pre-formatted to act as a spell tome, if you wish.
Oh?
We have a number of shift weave and glamour weave, various garments, and I'm sure I could meld them in with your current attire.
How does the spell shard work?
It's, and he kind of looks around. He eventually finds the spell shard. It's a polished, kind of a low quality Eberron dragon shard that it fits comfortably in the palm of his hand, and it looks very very light. He kind of looks at it and he says, "Well, this is a tome that is very easy to add content to, and in many cases it is very very secure. And well, look at it. It's so small compared to one of these full-fledged spell tomes. And all you have to do is focus your mind on it. And simply by acting instinctively and telling it what you wish it to do, it will do what you wish." I've seen some who have actually instilled images into it, inscribed images. They've simply looked at a thing and said, "I want to remember this. I want to remember it as it seems, as it looks at the moment," and it would remember that image. Here, give it a try. And he hands it over to you.
It's like
So
a super special spell book.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought, so. Is there anything already on this?
I'm not exactly sure, but if you do take it, I'll say that whatever's on it is yours to keep.
Well, I'd sure hope so.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna focus on it and try to read it.
All right. focusing on it, it takes a few moments, and it's almost like doing those cross-eyed, like visual, like mirage things. But eventually, you sort of get it, and in your mind, very, very strongly, you see a list of pages. A lot of them blank at the moment, but you do see 2 entries. Um, both of them spells. And you kind of focused on those entries and look through them, and you can see that these are the spells.
Don't teach my hamster to suck eggs.
You should read
had
what
this
spells
open.
I have and make them ones that aren't in my. Because I already have everything he freaking listed.
They are comprehend languages,
Ooh.
Nova, we have a influence.
oh, that's evil. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting a call from my dad. I gotta answer.
Do you want to go on a quick break or something? I don't know. We don't know how long he's gonna be.
Well, how long are we gonna be?
Well, that's the difference. We can decide how long we want to be.
Yeah.
Well,
hopefully
we are
can-
getting close to the end of the session.
Oh, we're not gonna make up for the hour late.
Oh yeah, we were an hour late. Well, that's up to Dova, so we'll see what he wants.
By the way, guys, I don't know if you knew this, but we have a merch store now.
Tell me more.
Well, I will, and by which case I'll have Zim tell you more.
Oh, make me do all the work. I see.
Hey,
It's your store.
hey, Zim. So I heard you have a store.
by a credible source.
Wow, me, like everyone else in the chat and the subscribers, really wish that we can get some merch from these awesome streams.
Okay, my
Your
command is not working now.
Your
For some
bot command
reason.
is broken, and you should feel bad.
Okay, well, I will just grab links myself.
Come on, Zim, we're trying hard here.
Yes, guys, we do have merchandise available. We also have a 15% discount on all merch right now. It lasts until March 3rd. Those in the US, if you have a total of $35 or more, you get free shipping. This is also our weekly discounts can get an extra 10% off on top of the 15. For those interested in stuff from this campaign.
I can't
here
tell you
go.
how interested I am.
Sorry about that. My dad was just calling to wish me a happy birthday.
It's your birthday?
It's your birthday today?
Hell yeah, dude.
Ah,
Oh,
happy
shit,
birthday.
happy
birthday.
birthday. Man,
you.
I'd send you a card, but you'd probably fumble it.
Oh my god!
Wow.
No, it's
You sure you want that second spell in your spell shard? It's spider climb, by the way.
Okay. I'm sorry, I had to.
Happy Hatch Day, Dova.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. That's a good one.
Happy birthday.
I mean, yeah, Buizel's has a point. There is that influence that you could give him.
I'm seeing that right now, and I'm definitely accepting it.
This doesn't sound good.
As he's kind of counting out the vials and placing them in a storage box, he kind of looks at you and he says, "Would you mind being a member of this store, this franchise's discount club?"
What does that entail?
Well, you get a little discount all of our prices from here all the way to the southern shores of. We have various stores. We also operate a high-end tailor shop, as well as very high-end luxury liquor sales.
And what do I have to do to join this club?
Oh, simply sign one of these contracts. Um, it basically it will let you prove that you are actually in our membership, and it will also give you it will also send you offers and of various sales that we're currently doing.
How are you going to send me those?
Magically, of course. It's a very slick system, and from our customers, we know that it is not obtrusive. And actually, since you have that spell shard, I think we could deliver those offers and sales directly to that. How does
I
that sound?
think I will have to decline this time, but once I visit another one of your stores, possibly I'll think about it.
Are you sure?
Yes, but can I
It's a
have a
sign-on
copy?
bonus. We offer a complimentary wine and cheese basket.
Like I said, I will pass. However, could I have a copy of that contract to read over?
Very well. And he grabs a copy of the contract and hands it over.
Thank you. And I think I'll take this spell shard.
Very well. And if you do change your mind, just sign the contract and it will automatically do its thing.
Thank you. That was most informal.
Of course.
Or
Informative.
informative.
All right. What are the rest of y'all doing?
Yeah, he's gonna what was the term? Airport walk?
Moon. Oh,
Airport hustle.
Airport hustle the fuck out of there.
Zerth would go up to the counter.
Oh wow, you're big. What can I do for you?
York's gonna go in with him.
I'm homegrown.
I see.
As you can see, I am large in stature.
Yes, I see that.
It has come to my recent attention that it may be an issue. As he flashbacks to the train.
I see.
Do you have something that would hide me, you could say? Maybe a cloak?
Hide your height or completely hide you?
Completely hide me, helps me blend in. Any one of those.
I do in my possession have a scroll that will change your height for an amount of time. Your size as well. Although I cannot think of something that I have in this location that might fit the bill of rendering you completely, invisible. Actually, now that I think about it,
How to disguise self?
not necessarily. I do, in fact. Yes, I do. I do have a scroll of what was the word? Invisibility. There was another word for it. It was a rather fancy man who sold it to me, and he called it something else, but I can't remember.
How much?
Well, I could part with it for 30 Galifars.
It's very tempting. Do you have what type of armor do you have?
We do have a number of enchanted chess pieces, gauntlets, greaves, all sorts of various armor pieces. Some of them enchanted to be quite resilient,
Hmm.
and others of which have more novel uses. What are
Hmm.
you interested in?
Something more. The resilience sounds fantastic.
I see, I see. They are quite expensive. They will, quite honestly, be much more expensive than at least 500 Galifars. I'd say that was the low end for one of the pieces. Are you looking for a full suit?
Uh, if you have it, preferably.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. The full suit I do have, and it is plate. Oh no, this one is half plate, but it does offer a significant increase in your defensive capabilities as he kind of goes to a revolving rack on the side of the counter and kind of turns it, and you can see a very well drawn picture, almost like a holographic picture of this suit of armor. Um, it's very sleek, silver, with the added bonus of having what look to be claws on the gauntlets. Not
Ooh.
quite Wolverines, but they're like studded about a half inch on the knuckles. Um, as he says, now this suit was made by a smith from Sharn. He said it was very good for tavern brawls when he got caught up in those, which doesn't sound like very much fun. I'd be willing to part with it for 5,000 Galifars.
Mm. If there's a sharp intake of air that he passes off as breathing. How? His jaws is just kind of like how?
Dusty's going to hop up. I can help you a little bit. Do you want some swords, sir?
Are they enchanted in any way?
No, they're just two curved blades.
I don't really have any need for them.
Ah,
I'm sure that there's a consignment shop that you could sell these to.
He's gonna pull out the medium dragon shard. How much for this?
Go ahead and give me an insight check.
Yes, I can.
ha.
He is taken aback as he kind of recomposes himself. He says, "Oh, that is a sizable find. Would you mind if I touched it? Just a little?"
That's the medium, isn't it?
In part of that, would I also pick up?
I thought that was the large one.
No, I
No.
have the large one.
Okay, then
Yeah.
ignore that roll as he says, "Ooh, that's a quite decent size. Do you mind if I took a look at it?"
Yeah, can I use that insight to see if he's gonna try to screw me over?
Sure.
And we'll just move it towards
you
that.
use the same one.
Yeah, and then he'll hand it over.
He'll
They
grab it.
taste like magic.
He'll look at it with he'll look towards you like through the eyeglass. As you can see, one eye is just comically magnified. You ate one.
Yesterday.
Yesterday. I see. Go ahead and give me a D100.
Me?
No, Dusty.
That's 2d10. Alright, that one is the d10.
No, there's the percentile option. If you right-click it,
Uh,
you just hit the percent die.
got it. Oh, I thought they were going to be the other way around. You're having a lot of fun there, Dova.
Well, now I'm interested.
Are you feeling anything strange at the moment?
Well, I slept upside down, so I don't know.
Is that normal?
Yes,
Very.
I'm bad.
Right. Well, he kind of grimaces. Be sure to keep a lookout for it when it comes out.
Okay.
Thank you. Was that a times 10 or a plus 10?
No.
Oh my god.
Oh, what? Quit being a baby. I'm searching for values. Little baby. That's... Oh, it is times 10. Okay. Can I... Thank you. Please let me pick it up.
All right.
He looks at it, and he says, for each one, 25 Galifars of still credit. And straight up value, I'd be willing to part 22 Galifars for each. The insight check would have told you that he is definitely underbidding. Though by how much, you're not sure.
Okay, so they could be worth more. All right. That's very good to know. Can you I overheard you can enchant things.
Yes. What sort of thing do you want?
Can you enchant this? And he's gonna pull his eyeball out.
What?
He kind
Is
of
it real or fake?
shudders for a moment as he sees it. Yes. What would you like on it?
What can you put on it?
He grabs a handkerchief. He says, if you mind, I'll look at it and see what I could do."
He hands it over.
He grits his teeth as he looks at it. He dries it off a little bit with the towel. As you can see, that there is clearly some sort of artificery going on here. There's a subtle sheen of a glass and a orangish copper-looking conduits beneath the surface. It looks very normal from the front, but from the rear you can see that it's definitely some sort of artifice. He brings out the eyeglass and peers in on it rather closely as he says, well, I could enchant it so that it could see a much longer distance, so that it could see magical effects. Really, I could do quite a bit of things with this.
I like where you're going with that. I like those two and possibly more. Those are all very good ideas.
Again, it would help if you gave me something specific so that I could...
Seeing farther and seeing magic would be useful.
Well, I assume that you won't have a fortune on hand at the moment?
Not really.
in that case, it'll probably be limited to one sort of magical effect. Otherwise, it will be quite expensive, and well, this may not be able to take the magic within it.
Ooh. He thinks about it for a second. Ooh, seeing farther or seeing magic? What do I spy with my special eye?
I mean, I can already cast
My
detect magic.
brand.
My brand. Probably seeing farther would be most useful right now.
Telescopic sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I could
$1 million
definitely do that.
gator.
I hate to make assumptions, but do you happen to have more shards?
He'll pull out the 4 pounds of small silver,
Oh,
or the small crystal ones.
these will work. In exchange for all of these, make something work with this.
I have 9 pounds of those too.
Of the
Really?
tiny shards?
Yes.
Wow.
Who has all the powder?
I do.
Oh,
Or
okay.
noon.
If you give me maybe an hour, I can have the medium one also. I ate a lot of bread.
Yikes.
You said all 4 pounds of the small.
Yes.
Okay, he'll hand over the 4 pounds. And the wet eye.
All right. So the medium as well as the 4.
The medium too.
Yeah, the medium too.
All right.
Thank you kindly. He says, and where might I be able to reach you to send this to you?
How long would it take?
I could probably work something out overnight.
I can come back in the morning.
Very well. I should have something ready for you then.
Very good. As he looks around, he's like, you wouldn't have to have an eye patch, would you?
Perhaps I might. He holds a finger up to signify to hold that thought, and kind of looks around. And I don't have an eye patch, but I do have this strip of scrap glamour weave.
That'll work.
All right. As he hands you this long strip of glamour weave, it's actually a the pattern is continually shifting, and it's a pink and blue sort of a swirling, like a mascarpone sort of look.
That's cool.
Like a marble kind of thing. And it's very swirling. It's very pretty looking. Not very masculine, but it looks very cool.
He's a gator of function, not fashion.
All right.
Yep.
Cool. Who's next? Dusty?
Sinel's got
Oh, sorry.
some.
Okay. And what are you looking for, sir?
I'm just looking to sell right now. And he's
Very
gonna
well.
pull out... he's
Store
got,
credit or?
preferably gold itself, or Galifard.
Very well.
So is that the only one that got the discount club bit?
Seems so.
Glad it
You're
didn't
not-
sign.
And you really don't know that, since you're currently copying everything from your spell to your
Okay.
shard. By the way, Yark, have you been touching the spell shard recently?
Which one? The big one?
The one that has the dictionary on it.
Yeah, every once in a while I look
Okay.
through it.
Go ahead and give me a intelligence. Sorry,
Arcana.
investigation check.
Okay.
This would be investigation.
I'm gonna go ahead and use my clockwork amulet to get a 14.
All right. You're noticing, and this is a publication of a rather well spread dictionary. You would know this, and you would start to understand that some of these words are misspelled, and you see it periodically enough to start thinking, is there something else to this? Because it'd be an awfully bad dictionary for a lot of these things to be misspelled.
How misspelled? Like letters missing, extra letters.
Switched
Letters mixed up.
around, extra letters. It's honestly very random,
Hmm.
and in a way that you don't think it would be very easy to, misspell. Like instead of like IE, it's like IX.
Oh.
It's just kind of weird, and you're just kind of pondering over these for the moment.
I'm gonna think it's some sort of code and I'm gonna investigate it.
All right. You'll continue to work on that in the background. As you're.
But there was
currently...
something I wanted to buy before I
Okay.
dedicate the rest of my time to that.
Okay. We'll go with you right after Signal.
Okay.
And I'm guessing you're with these other fellows, the more shards for me.
That is correct.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what will you be willing to sell?
I've got 2 pounds of small dragon shards, medium one, and 7 pounds of the powder.
I'm sorry, could you say it again? I was out of character. Sorry.
7 pounds of powder, 1 pound medium, and 2 pounds small.
7 pounds powder. 1 pound of small? One
Pounds.
medium.
1 medium.
1 medium. 7 pounds of powder. So 7 pounds of powder. That would be 35 plus 20. And that'd be
And then the 2 small.
that would be 60. Yeah, he kind of counts it all up. He's inspecting it. He's making sure it's all real, and eventually he says, "For everything, I'd be willing to pay you out right now for 76 Galifars."
Ooh.
I'll try it. Just to...
You can definitely tell that he is undercutting you.
Ooh.
Though
Ooh.
that was a good one.
you're not quite sure by how much.
I don't
You're-
think that's quite the right value for these.
Well, since you all are bringing me such business today, and these are quite high quality, I'll say, how about 80 Galifars?
Didn't he originally offer 78?
Call it even.
Dova?
76.
He originally offered 76.
That still seems rather low to... You said he was undercutting me by quite a bit, didn't you?
No, you couldn't quite tell exactly how much. I rolled deception on his end.
Ah. So you're only bumping it up by 4 more.
Yes. It would be cutting very close to my profit margins.
Yeah, we'll try it again.
Hmm.
See if
That
he's...
seems legitimate. Actually, let me roll first. Yeah, seems legitimate. And at this point, it seems like this might be all he's willing to offer.
Alright, I'll take it.
All right, go ahead and take away all those dragon shards and junk, and go ahead and add 80 Galifars.
Not 900. Alright. That is all I've got to do.
All right. Yark.
Hello.
Hi. Actually, Dusty, I know you wanted to buy something. I'm sorry, I cut you off a while ago and never came back to you. Dusty?
Is Dusty
it
here?
You're still feeling all right? Yes.
Yes?
Good.
Should I not be?
I would just move real carefully. Be very, very calm and gentle. You never know what poking and prodding at it might do.
I don't even know where in my body it is right now.
That's probably bad. Anyways, do you want to buy anything? Do you want to sell anything? I'm assuming you have these dragon shards, since the rest of your companions do.
I do, but first I have a question.
Yes.
If I have a magic thing, can you put more magic on it?
It certainly depends on what the magic thing is.
There's
What
the thing I
magic
want
thing?
that I don't have. They're really good bracers.
I see. And you want more magic in these things?
Well,
Or do you
I
want
think
these...
first I have to get them, and then I bring them to you. For the more magic.
I see.
I think they're magic. I don't know. Supposedly they're called bracers of defense. I think they're magic.
I
But
see.
it would be much cooler if I could do another thing on top of it. Probably with Dragon Charm.
Mm,
When did you get braces of defense?
He hasn't. He said he wants them.
Oh,
Well, I know that one of my associates has that. If you'd be willing to put down a down payment, I'd be willing to go haggle with him and try to get as much of your money back with it.
I don't have a lot of down payment right now.
Do you have more than 1,000?
No.
Then
Unless
I
you
don't
mean
believe we.
maybe 1,000 crowns. Then maybe.
No, we don't. We wouldn't have enough. Close.
I'm gonna have to
That-
save my allowance.
That particular specimen he bought at auction for 3,500, I believe.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow, these things are a lot more expensive than I thought they were.
Oh yes.
He's gonna look over and start like tugging his sleeve and say, "I need the save."
He's gonna talk to him in Aquarian and just go
Aaron.
yeah Aaron, and just go, we seem to be lacking financial stability in these times.
Yes. Let's go find bounties. Let's go.
Yeah, we may need to inflate our pockets, as I've heard.
That sounds like the correct term. And then find that person who buys the things from other people.
Yes. And then he just shakes his head and just mutters, it's easier living out in the wilds.
Satisfied that Dusty is taken care of, he looks over to Yark and says, "You're an artificer, aren't you?"
yes, sir.
I could tell. What can I do for you?
Well, first of all, I need a good place for scrap metal. You got any good ideas?
I do have a supplier. It's mostly spare cuttings and scraps from one of the weaponsmiths. If you do need more high quality things, there is an artificer's college I'm sure that they have plenty of failed experiments.
Ooh. Oh, I can take some scraps for now, though.
Very well. I don't personally have any on hand. Oh, actually, I do. That was a lie. I'm sorry. He's getting so friendly. His affinity is through the roof.
Oh
Um,
man, we haven't even given him any gifts. That's just charisma talking.
It's just the amount of dragon shards you're bringing.
We're exhausting all of his dialogue.
Your lines are repeating. As he says, I do have a personal stock. And I'd be willing to give you some for a respectable price.
I just need a little bit quick for now.
I see. Maybe a handful or two.
Works for me.
Very well. He kind of pulls open a drawer, and you can hear this clanking and clinking of various metal shards and different bits and gears and springs. As he kind of reaches down, grabs a heaping handful, and kind of raises it up and says, how about 5 sovereigns?"
Perfect.
All right. As he kind of heaves it up and stands on his, and you realize now that the floor inside this this kind of kiosk is actually at his level. It's actually at about your waist, compared to the street level outside. As he kind of picks it up and kind of gingerly places it on the counter as it kind of slumps down in this just pile of scrap metal. He grabs the 5 sovereigns from you and places them away in a strongbox.
I did want to ask you about the spell shard, though.
Okay.
You seem quite knowledgeable on spell shards. What do you think
yes.
this means? I'm going to explain him on the dictionary with misspelled words, if it was just like a mistake or if it might mean something.
I'm not quite sure. I will say this, though. It is very rare for spell shards to have misspellings. I have heard of someone hiding messages in them. I'm sure this probably isn't anything of the sort, but might be something.
He heard what? You cut out there.
You heard that it might have been used for, or it has been used for hiding secret information in the past. Much in the same way that written ciphers are in regular books. But I'm aware that it might be possible to do much more complex things. Nothing that I've encountered, though.
Cool. There was one more thing I forgot. I was gonna ask him, but I forgot. Do you know anything? Do you know much about potions?
I've dabbled a bit in magical enhancements, although you will be looking for a proper alchemist. I have a small selection of commonly used potions.
Okay. Last thing was I was gonna sell these 2 mediums because I can't think of anything I want to do with them. Like the powder I'm gonna use for potions and a large shard I already have a potential plan for.
Right.
And if you decide on your decision on what I asked you, then I might also have to think of something else for the large one.
What level do you get
6.
that at? 6? Okay. It should be okay.
Sweet.
I'll try to look over it one more time, just to make sure whenever I have the time.
Okay.
But yeah, it should be okay.
Yeah, I'll sell the mediums.
He looks at them.
I have 2
Says, Uh, hmm, I'll give you 50 Galifar store credit. Or I'd be willing to sell these or buy these for 38 Galifars.
What can I get for 50?
For 50, I have this ever bright lantern, as he points to the lantern which has been illuminating the interior of the shop. You can see that he has a spare on the shelf.
Okay, I was about to say, take my lights. I really want these shards.
No, he has one on the shelf. I have a selection of wands and orbs. I could give any selection of them to you.
Wands and orbs.
Yes.
Or like orbs?
Mhm.
With a question mark now?
They would give you a 1d4 reduced damage for a fire or a
An
type
element.
of
Okay.
type of damage. And in addition, it would be a spell, an arcane focus.
Okay.
And the wands would give you a bonus damage according to what kind of damage it is.
Oh, so I thought they were like the wondrous item wands.
No.
Okay.
They're imbued ones.
Yeah.
I see. Interesting. I haven't heard of those ones. In the Xanathar's guide, wasn't there an armor that was like it could never be dirty?
Yeah.
Can you do that with my scale mail?
He says, I believe so. It's not that quite different from some of the enchantments I put on Glamour Weave. Yes, I'll do that for you.
In
In
exchange for the
exchange
two
for the
shards?
shards, yes.
Alright, cool. Excellent.
Alright.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of enjoyed what the Kerr collar did in our other game.
At this point, somebody in the crowd, you're not quite sure who, but they kind of bump against Dusty. And Dusty, you let out a hiccup, and with a kind of a foomp, you are now a
Oh.
you are now a dandelion in a ceramic pot.
Oh, this is interesting.
Dova, did you roll on the wild magic table?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, this is unfortunate. Goodbye, everybody.
You
Hey.
turn into a potted plant until the start of your next turn. While a plant, you are incapacitated and have vulnerability to all damage. If you drop to 0 hit points, your pot breaks and your form
Be happy, you could have cast Fireball Center on self.
It's me, your best friend.
Dova, I'm gonna stomp the flower.
Friendliness pellets.
You want some love, don't you?
There you go. God damn it.
I like how the voice you picked, the flower, has a lower voice than your character.
Your best friend.
Best friend.
Best
So,
friend. Best friend.
Hey there,
I
buddy.
do
old
want
pal.
to visit the Artificer's Hall. I don't know if you want to do like an adventure part of thing, like a actual roleplay that thing.
You know
or...
that Zerth
I think we might figure that
kill
out
this
next
man?
because
Okay.
it is getting pretty late.
Yeah, I thought so.
All right.
Zerth looks very concerned at his potted sun plant.
Wiggle, smack, and
Like
forth.
he can't even do it. He can't even think of
Just,
anything
like,
to say.
waving.
He's just concerned.
No, wait, it's already there. He's a sunflower.
God damn it. He's gonna look at the.
Hey!
He's gonna look at the. Would Zerth have seen the guy bump into him?
Uh, no. By the time you look around and realize what happened, the crowd is already kind of shifted and surged, and he's already gone. As it's not a real like shop that you're in. It's kind of just a cutout into the wall.
He's gonna pick it up with both hands, turn around, shove it into the shopkeeper's face. It's like, what did you do?
At about that time, as soon as you set him down, the pot breaks, and tumbling out of it, like onto the countertop, is Dusty, covered in a little bit of soil.
Perfect. I felt evil.
The shopkeeper's
you
like,
not do that? And I
No,
think that
I'm
was
afraid I
probably the
must.
shard.
Mm.
Oh man. I am never gonna spit that thing out.
Zerf's gonna pick him up by the scruff of his neck, and then just throw him back.
What?
The shopkeeper grabs one of his wands that he keeps in a sheath near his hip, waves it around as the dust is kind of blown into the air and kind of just dissipates and flies out into the street. The various soil that was inside the potted plant. Kind of brushes off the counter again and says, "Is there anything else that I can do for anyone? I'm getting close to closing time."
I don't know, I'm done. I thank him for all of his help.
Of course.
I think I have to go to the bathroom.
Very well. You all have a wonderful day. And since I sense that you're new here, welcome to Sterilasker. If it can be
What
bought,
is
then it
happening
most
on
likely
this?
can be bought here. Not to be confused with the saying for Sharn. We're not quite as good, but we're dang close. As he reaches up and grabs a pull cord, kind of on a set of rails in the ceiling, he says, "Could you please back away a little bit? I think you're in the way of the shutters."
Oh yeah, I'm already out.
And as you all file out, he closes the shutters behind you, and you are now in the evening city streets of Sterilasker. As you're kind of trying to figure out where to go next, there's a commotion down the street in a small opening with a fountain. Looking over that way, now that the crowd has diminished slightly, you see two somewhat similar-looking men arguing in front of the member of the I had it written down.
The bird thumb
there
was
it is,
taking over the fella.
The Sentinels of Sterilasker. You see one of the Sentinels kind of trying to placate both of them as they're loudly arguing, both proclaiming that the other is a changeling. And changelings are a real thing in Eberron. They're a race of people that are able to effortlessly mimic other races, other peoples.
Is this a
some of-
magical thing?
Yeah, it's kind of a magical thing. It's more of a biological thing, like a natural magic, kind of like a doppelganger. Except that they're much more intelligent and they will actively participate in society. I was going to say, oh yes, most of the population does think that they are evil or at the very least mischievous. However, actually no, we'll just keep it at that because you are the general public.
Do they look the same, or is it two different people?
Give me a perception check.
Everyone?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright.
It's because I got my eyeballs shined,
That's
isn't
exactly true. You don't have depth perception. It's hard to tell.
it? It's been a while since he's taken it out.
Yeah.
I had to spend those 220s earlier.
Nobody. You're really. Actually, there's one more. Yeah. and the one person who does succeed can't really tell anyone. It's really hard to tell.
What's going
you're
on,
looking at 'em-
Lassie? Is little Jimmy stuck in the well again?
Bark, 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 bark.
Hello, I am
Oh,
down
no,
the
I'm sorry.
well.
It's like one bark.
Poof. Sin'll tell us. Is it
What
a
happened to
bark?
Soda? Did Dusty
Yeah.
fall down the well?
Dusty-
Oh, how
It's more of a
down the
boof.
well?
It's more of a boof. That's what I thought.
All right. So, as you guys are kind of walking closer curiously, you can see that they're both reaching wand sheaths. And I think we could probably end it there because it's late. I'm hungry. And yeah, you get a taste of civilization. It's fun.
I enjoy it.
I'll get you the decision for that probably before the night is up. I'm going to eat a lot of Genoa salame and maybe have a beer or two.
Delicious.
It's going to be a great birthday dinner.
Dova, you know I'm gonna have to start making soda now, right?
Yeah.
In the game.
Well, hydromal is a real thing.
Well, yeah, but you said it was like a
Precursor.
prototype soda, so now I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to
it's a-
expand on it.
A precursor like non-alcoholic drink. And it is like it is sanitary since honey doesn't really spoil.
Nope. It's a natural antibiotic.
Creighton, thank you very much for coming by. Welcome to our little stream here. Don't forget to hit that follow button I think you did earlier actually, but you know. Thank you everybody for joining us this evening. I really appreciate it. The support is awesome. I will be back tomorrow with Kingdom Hearts 3, as well as probably some Dwarf Fortress.
I'll see if I can be there for that.
Darkest Dungeon will be returning here in the near future as well. Might be a week or two,
Dungeon
but yeah. Happy birthday, Dova.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Yes,
you
much happy birthday.
to my subscribers, donators, and patrons. I can't do this without you guys. Do check out our merch store, zgfgaming.com/shop. I should change that. Either way, thank you, and I bid you all a very fond adieu.
Goodbye,
Bye,
everybody.
friends.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye! Oh,
Oh no,
Boy.
he's back.
He's been back over here.
birthday to you. Oh,
Oh, now I'm going to let you finish that before I stop the stream.
no, I'm okay. I have to go talk to a policeman like this.
No. You got to finish the song. It's Dova's birthday. He deserves it.
I think
Well,
his
yeah,
gift
but isn't it not?
birthday.
Isn't it like not
birthday, boy.
public domain or something?
Yeah, it's technically not public domain.
We're gonna get
Oh,
in trouble,
yeah.
so turn the stream off now.
Okay, bye everyone.